everybody. Good evening and welcome to the Steel Toe Evening Show. I have a weird issue with eye contact. I notice that I start every show, I'm kind of looking down here, and then I look up at you. It also doesn't help that the camera's right in front of April.
Not really.
And then I gotta
look
angle
that
to
way.
you guys. Do you?
Yeah,
well, then it's kind of in the middle.
It's completely in the middle.
Hi, everybody. Okay, here. Let's check the degree tilt of our bodies when we look straight on at the camera. Ready?
Ready.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Now you do it. You got to go into the middle of right in the front and center with the camera. Okay.
Howdy.
It's probably about a similar bend. It's a very similar bend. Welcome to the show, boys and girls. I will tell you this. I am a day early. It's like a period cycle every week on this show. It's, usually by Wednesday night I am shot. And then after Wednesday night I'm good because I only have to do one show a day, Thursday and Friday. So I feel good.
Okay.
Today is my Wednesday.
Wow.
Today I'm shot to shit. And don't worry, though. I'm doing crack cocaine.
In the evening. My God.
Are you supposed to do crack cocaine in the morning?
You always do your crack in the morning.
I do. But I'm breaking the cycle. They say that's important if you ever want to recover. You have to break the cycle. I have a lot of show notes for you tonight. We have a lot of stories. I will tell you this. I've got to stay up a little bit later tonight and do a little bit more show prep for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, by the way, we have our buddy, Dr. Till Medicine Woman, joining the show as our special guest. I think I'm going to title tomorrow's episode still that we, special guest host Wednesday. Tune in to see who it is.
Sure.
To, slut ourselves out to people.
Yep.
But to those of you who are regular listeners, you will know that it's going to be Dr. Till Medicine Woman. And I'm very excited about that. Ministry of Dude, all of that shit. I'm going to send him the prep sheets tonight when I'm done. Probably got to get another handful of stories. I like to have about, 5, 10, 15, somewhere between 15 and 20 stories that we can go to in a morning.
Wow.
Evening show is about 10.
I will so you have to work late tonight, right?
Probably. I need about a half hour.
I will just go.
Fuck off.
Fuck right off.
Fuck off.
I will.
Is what I need from you.
Cuddle the dog and sleep.
I'm not unexcited about this length of my hair.
I don't care. Just keep growing it then.
I saw my reflection in a computer today and I thought, you know what? I said, you know what? I'd fuck that guy.
You got it going on?
He's got some older guy shit going on.
Wow.
Older at 36.
Guy shit.
Yeah, it was kind of an older guy haircut. It's kind of a suave older guy haircut kind of thing. We just got to trim this up.
No. I say just keep growing it. The long hair's in now.
On the sides and the back? That looks so scraggly.
Oh, God, no. Guys are starting to grow their hair out and wear hats really? Again.
You know what I want to look like?
Go for it.
I want the kind of hair that... I mean, I'm not being serious, but I want the kind of hair that David Morse had in the Disturbia.
There you go. Yeah, because you're already slicking it back in the middle, in the front. Yeah. You have to get this little piece permed back here. So
well, I don't want to perm it.
Why not?
That's gay.
Go on.
Hold on. That's gay. That's the gay bell. And that's gay, bro.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't want to go full David Morse in Disturbia. But David Morse was a fuckable older dude in Disturbia.
I still think he probably is.
Well,
no, not really.
That was 16 years ago.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was a long time ago. Then. The movies all looked really good back then already. It was HD was starting and everything. So now they all just look the same. 2007 blends into... Think about it. Disturbia to now is the same difference as like Jaws to Rocky 5.
Aye.
Yeah.
No.
So
whoa.
Disturbia to now is Jaws to Rocky 5, and the movies looked completely different.
Yes, they did.
Between Jaws and Rocky 5.
But then again, Disturbia looks so good, I forget how old it is. Except for how tacky
be careful.
Corny it
yeah,
is.
I was going to say, be careful. Don't say it looks good, not as a movie, just visually.
No, visually it looks good. Everything's crisp and clear and clean.
It's weird when you watch a movie and the whole plot is like teenagers fucking each other.
But then they never fuck. Plot
But like
twist.
they're hooking up and you're like, okay, wait a minute. This is kind of how, there's another reason, Hollywood's run by pedophiles is that You're watching this and you're like, are you trying to titillate me? They're 16 or 17 years old and they're fucking each other. That doesn't do it for me.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that chick in there was supposed to be the ultra hot, but then, when you see her in a swimsuit, you realize how young she is because there's no tits. Everything's flat.
I know that both the actors were probably in their early 20s.
Yeah,
so
but they're not
fine.
portrayed that way. They're high school students.
They're portrayed as high school students.
Right.
And like, yeah, it doesn't. I'm sorry, Hollywood. And Hollywood's like, hey, come on, guys. We're meeting in the middle. We wanted to make them elementary school, so it was hot for us.
Well.
It's just a little odd to me.
They did that with a lot of movies with like high schoolers having sex and shit. Juno was that too. Not that either of those two are hot.
The whole plot of Juno was the kids
The whole
are fucking.
plot of Juno is high schoolers fucking.
Pugsley said it's the dye job and blonde show. Yay. Oh, man. Geez Louise says April shouldn't be so vulgar and lowbrow. It's off-putting. Saying the C word and cum 20 times isn't cute or funny. That's from Geez Louise. Take that as you will.
All right.
Call him a cunt.
No.
Yeah, that's what you do.
I don't feel like I overuse those words.
I have to teach you how to do this job. And one of the things you have to do is when you see a person telling you that you use a word too much is clearly you double down and use it back on them. So I'll come in your shoes, you cunt. There, I used both of them.
All right.
Perfect.
I certainly don't use them more than you do.
Let's see. Hey, gang, nice sweater, April, says Connor.
Thank you.
Ape looking classy, compliments. One person says, and now I've lost the chat. Oh, boy.
Well, thanks. I was trying to say thank you to some
We were getting
people,
compliments. There we go. April doesn't respond to compliments, said Geez Louise.
Well, I'd have to say that Geez Louise just doesn't like me and he should go home.
You know what I say? Well, Geez Louise. Robert says, is April culturally appropriating with that sweater? That's a good question. Are you kind of stealing...
What?
Are you stealing Native American culture?
Oh, no. I have that in my background. Cherokee, remember?
Yeah, but you're like an 8th Cherokee, like black people are an 8th Cherokee.
I was born, I will have you know, with bushy black hair. And very, very, very red skin for a while.
Whoa, wait, very what?
I was very...
Very what
bright,
skin? What skin?
And I had dark, bushy hair.
And what color skin?
I don't know.
What did you say? No, come on. This is a yes and program.
Canyon red.
No, what kind of skin? Say it again.
I had very bright red skin for a long time.
Wow.
And bushy black hair.
Can you guys believe someone would say something
I have to
like
find my
this?
baby picture. I'll have to show you guys.
D. Gulag says, Dr. Till, medicine woman, will be great. Citizen M says, it's Ray DeVito. I'm sorry. No, I'm not having Ray on. It's I like Ray, but no, it's not him. I will say this. I think Citizen M is trying to middleman a Steel Toe Salvo Pancakes collaboration.
Why?
Oh, God. Don't worry. This will be an Aaron solo interview project, I think. This will be a guest
Well,
thing.
I don't know anything about the guy except piss. So
I'm going to ask him. He wants to talk about the piss.
Pissy pancakes.
We're going to talk about the piss. We're going to talk about everything. Salvo Pancakes tweeted at me today and said, I'm a fan of your show, which I don't believe for a moment. No. One thing about Salvo Pancakes, he is completely full of shit. I don't believe a word he says.
Yeah.
He's like a little pit viper. I don't trust him at all.
Ass.
I don't trust him at all. Salvo goes, I'm a fan of your show. I'd love to do your show. And I DM'd him. I said, hey, name a day. We'll record an interview. We'll put it up there. I told him, I said, you should be a standalone interview. Standalone fruit. And I told him, I go, hey, ever since you came back, I noticed you've toned down the red bar shtick. You're willing to talk about all the uncomfortable things people have said about you. I think that's the right direction to go in. So we'll see if I get a response. We'll see if we have Salvo Pancakes on. I think you guys could get to know him, and it could be kind of fun. Right.
I'm not a pancakes guy, so if he could, change my mind.
What if I interview a guy named Détente Waffles? Would that be better? Détente Waffles.
Yeah, I prefer waffles to pancakes.
All right, there you go. And let's catch up with you guys in the chat. Then let's go into what we've got for the show tonight. Very excited for all of it. I will say this, show prep wise, oh my God, it is tough. It is tough to prep a show for tonight and tomorrow because this whole fucking country, all they want to talk about is trans shit. And you guys know me. Once I go on a big rant, I'm kind of done with the topic. Like last night, I went on that big SNL rant.
Yeah, I do feel like...
And now all the topics I see when I go on Daily Mail or CNN or Blaze, left-wing or right-wing sites, it doesn't matter. It's just this trans thing and that trans thing. And I'm like, I'm fucking exhausted with the trans thing. Like they took a poll that said Americans are mad at the Bud Light thing. Like 80% of Americans believe that corporations focus too much on trans issues. And I'm like, 80%? That's actually lower than I thought it would be.
That's way lower.
But it's a good number. It's a good start.
It is a good start. I do feel that all that should be and needs to be said about trans stuff has been said.
Yeah. I think it's definitely psyopy, that they're just throwing this shit at you and just exhausting us.
Maybe if we just ignore them all, they go away. Do you think?
How about another season of the Kardashians? That ought to do her. Then we'll be good.
Turns out they're all trans now, actually.
Taste Fairy says, April, did you investigate the McDonald's burger thing? I have the McDonald's burger thing as our first story tonight, so don't you guys worry.
Because I forgot.
Mike Herb says, I bet it slicks back real nice. No Pen 15 Fathead says, grow your hair, Aaron. Bitches love it. Yes. I get compliments all the time. You want me to impress the bitches?
No, just this bitch.
Okay.
But no, I totally agree with him. I dig a man with longer hair.
Chris Weaver says, frost the tips and go full Michael Cole.
We could have some fun with this.
Kmart Reddy, who's had some fun with us in the chat before, I saw that he was in the hidden department the other day, and I removed him from it. So Kmart Reddy, don't make a fool out of me. I went to bat for you on that one. Cheese Louise says, why is that loser Corey in the corner? Corey was on this show for 6 years. Why would we not?
Because it's a whole silk backdrop, and it's nice.
It's a nice silk backdrop. I wear it as a cloak. Underwear sometimes.
Underwear.
I have to wrap it around a lot, but I use it. Yes. Citizen M says, thank you for clarifying that you were just kidding for us autists in the chat. I find on YouTube, more so than on radio, you have to clarify you're kidding sometimes. So
yeah, but then when they go to clip it, they leave that part out.
Jeez Louise with a great point. Jeez Louise is growing on me. Where'd it go? I lost the chat again. Here we go. Jeez Louise says, Frank Stallone is the real star of the Rocky franchise. That's true, man. Take you back. Take you back.
Not bad.
Jeez Louise says, I'm a woman. Very rude, not funny. Sorry, Jeez Louise. My apologies. And I next time when I tell you jokes and whatnot, I will slow them down now that I know you're a woman.
What is going on?
I'm trying to be respectful. Oh, boy. Well, Jeez Louise sounds like he or she needs some cum in her cunt, says Rupert.
Couldn't we all use some of that?
Jeez Louise says, I like you. I just think it's beneath you to talk like a truck driver.
I grew up on a farm.
Well, kick me in the nuts, big super dick. We're going to come in hot on exit 245, and we got the big wheeler riding down like a Cherokee asshole. You copy?
If you want to see refined me, you can take me out to a nice dinner. How's that sound?
Buddy Travis says, aren't we all a little Cherokee? Well, I know this about myself. I personally, and I looked into this.
Yep.
I am an Indian outlaw.
Oh, I bet you are.
Half Cherokee and Choctaw.
Yeah.
My baby, she's a Chippewa.
Oh.
She's a one of a kind. I'm
sorry. So you're cheating on me.
All my friends call me Bear Claw. It's because I eat a lot of donuts. It's not because I'm Native American.
His blood type is actually donut.
Yes. Sky Pie says, oh no, my great-great-grandmother was a Cherokee princess lines. Oh, were you part of royalty?
Oh no, I'm actually a Pocahontas.
Oh. Toolman Mike says, hats off to April for putting in the hours this week. Yeah, but she's finally getting a break.
Tomorrow. I get one show off this week.
Yes. Jeez Louise says, be honest, Corey sucks. I don't think Corey sucks. I wouldn't have had him on my show for 6 years if I thought he sucked. Everyone, like, this is a really big deal with a lot of people. They're like, why can't you and Corey hate each other? Because we're friends. Honestly, him leaving this show probably saved our friendship.
That's probably true.
I mean, we like each other now more than ever. We text more than we ever have.
I mean, on that group phone call we had that day, I choked up hearing him say he wanted to quit and go do his own thing.
Yeah.
Well, that was shitty.
It ended really well. And I'm glad we're in a position where that can upset the internet. Turtle says, if you do it live, you'll make bank in super chats from us calling him a piss goblin. Guys, I'm going to tell you something about how I do a show. The very reason that I don't want to do it live is because it will just be super chats calling him a piss goblin. I don't want to do that. Look, people can do their show the way they want. I don't bother them. I would hope they don't bother me. But I'll say I do pass judgment on the people who just whore for super chats. I think it's beneath me. I think it's unprofessional. Here's how we whore for super chats. We just very openly say, look, to keep this show on the air, this is how much money we need. If you could donate to our show, we're going to keep dancing and entertaining you and doing stories and doing a talk show. There's just going to be an NPR element of asking you for money a couple times an hour in that. That's all, in exchange for commercials. I don't ever want to be at a place where I have to do a show and I have a guest, and instead of talking to my guest and learning something about them and going at my pace and doing an interview that I think people will be entertained to listen to, because you have to remember, 90 to 99% of your audience is not in that chat. Most of the people watching you are not in that chat. So you got to do a show that people want to put on headphones and listen to. They don't want to hear you just doing a show exclusively for your chat or for super chats. If I'm going to talk to a Salvo Pancake, so help me God, I'm going to talk to Salvo. I'm not going to go, I mean, no offense, but I thought that Joe was terrible during that Ray DeVito interview. So rude and unprofessional and not talented.
Yes, he was.
Breaking into an interview where a guest and a host are talking to say, read the super chats, read the super chats. Dude, you got to learn how to do a show. Like that whole whoring yourself out just to do super chats and your whole show being reading super chats, that day is going to die, and it's already happening. It's already going away. You got to start doing shows, guys. And you can you can make fun of me for saying that. It's friendly advice. You can take it or leave it. If you don't do shows, you're going to die young. That's just the way it goes. Slow and steady wins the race. So, Turtle, I hear you. I understand, but I don't want to whore Salvo out for super chats. I'd like to do a good interview with the guys. Dave says the Jerry Sandusky look will have you driving the women crazy, Aaron. No, I don't want that one. I don't want that. I don't want the Jerry Sandusky child molester look. All right, let's catch up. We're trying to catch up with you guys, but you are really busy in the chat tonight. Let's continue this going forward here. Okay, we got that one. We got that one. Aaron, I like how you talk like a trucker. No problem. Thank you, Trucker 18-wheeler. The only news is trans of the old white guy who shot the black kid. Yeah, like it's either like some white guy shooting a black kid, race this, race that, trans this, trans that. I don't.
Climate change.
Climate change. Well, I would die for a climate change story at this point, because then it would give Citizen M and I something to argue about. Yosemite Sambo says Corey is great, just not on this show. I thought he was good on this show too.
I think it's good that he's branching out and doing his own thing.
Yeah. I feel lucky today. When is the lucky draw? It's not prize shows at the end of the month. All right, guys, let's continue on. Aaron likes his friend Corey. Gay, they're saying. Gets the gay bell. All right, good. I'm caught up. We got to most of you. Thank you guys very, very much. All right, let's find out what we need to do tonight. You guys were $20 ahead this morning. Thank you very much for that. Incredibly supportive crowd. We always appreciate the years and years you guys have kept us on the air. We've also got somebody kicking things off this evening, and it is Gray Duckling. Says, way too drunk for this. I missed the prize show.
Oh.
Missed it by a country mile, my brother.
Yeah, seriously.
He's going to start things off tonight with $25.
Thank you.
So tonight, boys and girls, we start at 205. Not a very big goal. Everybody jump in there, throw in a little bit. We'll knock out 205 in no time. Let's, you know what? I'm going to challenge 150 by the top of the hour.
Whoa.
Pro Gun says, read my super chat and dance. Dance, monkey, dance. Well, there you go, buddy. Thank you for the 666 Pro Guns. And we're at an even 200 for the evening. Thank you very much. Let's get into some news. Let's get into some topics. Let's talk about some things. Thank you very much to everybody who chips in tonight. We do so appreciate it. All the links are there in the chat. Venmo, Streamlabs, PayPal, Super Chats, memberships, Rumble rants. How you guys doing on Rumble tonight? Remember to hit the thumbs up button. Remember to subscribe. Remember to share the show. Want to get to 100 likes by the time we hit 8 o'clock Central Time. Okay, we got told this morning. I didn't have time to read about it, but I was able to find stories about it. It is true. McDonald's is changing up their burgers.
But I need to know how.
Well, the title of the article is McDonald's is upgrading their burgers. The only problem is, and look, I understand we're going to debate about this, and the audience is going to argue about this. There's one thing this audience loves to argue about, it's food. Gray Duckling says, Dance Shaka. Dance Shaka isn't here. I'm sorry. You know what? I promise. I'll get him back to the studio. He's out running around degrading white women.
Did you sell him on the garage sale?
I did not. It's illegal to sell him. Thank you, Gray Duckling, for the $4.99. So, people aren't going to like this, but April and I are suckers for McDonald's cheeseburgers.
They hit the spot every time.
I like them. I don't think I honestly believe, and this is a trash take, and I am fully willing to take the slings and arrows for this opinion. I think that the McDonald's burger is the perfect American food. It's quick, it's cheap, it's easy, it tastes really good.
I've never met another fast food burger that outdid it for me.
I don't believe in trading. I don't believe in fixing something that isn't broken. There's no reason to change the McDonald's burger. It's good. It's fine.
Great.
There's nothing wrong with the McDonald's burger.
You could add teensy bit more onions for me.
See, now but you see what you're doing?
But you know what then I can do? I can just ask for extra onions.
Yeah, Buddy Travis says don't fix what ain't broke unless it's using better ingredients.
It's so good. Yeah, if you can somehow make that patty remarkably healthy for me, like it's just strictly protein, all right then.
Kyle W. says, how was the Frisco burger the other day? I always like a good Frisco burger. April was not impressed.
I was going to give it, a chance. I always like to give things a chance. I did not like it. I thought it was very underwhelming and too much goo on it.
You always hate that white goo is, yeah.
Too much cheese and too much mayo, and I never say too much mayo.
Citizen M says, God damn, Aaron, this is a bad take. Yeah, I didn't think Citizen M would like this take at all. He says McDonald's kills countless Americans every year. I don't know, man.
Does it, or is it the people that eat too much of it? I think anything is fine within reason. That's like alcohol. Alcohol is pure poison.
Yeah, I think people who can't control themselves and get really obese and have heart problems kill themselves. If it wasn't the McDonald's, it would be something else. There's no shortage of dog shit food in America. That's for sure.
Drugs, alcohol.
Yeah, something will get you.
Something will find you.
NYPD, something will get you. Kyler Pouch says McDonald's gives me volcanic diarrhea. That's something that happens to some people. That's legit.
A fair argument.
So McDonald's, which has been focusing on upgrading its core items to boost sales, is rolling out a series of changes designed to improve its signature burgers. Okay. Because I've heard from people that it is a tasty burger.
It is.
I'd watch Pulp Fiction tonight.
I thought about Pulp Fiction or Django. We just watched both.
Buns will be softer.
Okay.
Cheese gooier. Onions will be added to the patties right on the grill. And the Big Mac sauce, there will be more of it. All right, what do you think?
I don't hate it so far. I like the buns softer thing because a lot of times if I just get the single normal cheeseburger, there's a lot of bun to patty and insides, and I wouldn't mind if it was softer.
All right.
It does lip over sometimes.
We found that small changes like tweaking our process to get hotter, meltier cheese and adjusting our grill settings for a better sear added up to a big difference in making our burgers more flavorful than ever, said Chef Chad Schaefer, who's the Senior Director of Culinary Innovation of McDonald's USA. So people can talk shit about McDonald's food all they want, but they have, I'm sure this Chad Schaefer is
hot.
Oh, Jesus. I'm sure he's chunky. I'm sure he's a well-decorated chef. I'm sure he's incredibly good.
We should look him up after this.
Well, and he's the guy who is in charge of all the food at McDonald's. Yeah. That's a high-pressure gig. What I like about McDonald's is that even though they're the top dog, even though they're in charge, they're the biggest, best, thing in the world, their head chef is like, all right, we're going to fuck around a little bit. We're going to play with some things. We're going to see if we can make this thing better. And they take like a burger. They take something as simple as a $1.25, I don't know how much they are now.
Pretty cheap.
Cheeseburger. And they're like, we're going to dick around with this a little bit and see if we can make it better.
I bet that if they were to turn up their grills just a little bit and sear them quicker, you trap a little more juice in there, right?
The upgrades apply to the Big Mac and the McDouble burger, as well as the classic cheeseburger, double cheeburger, and hamburger.
So I'm either a regular cheeseburger or a McDouble. I'm a McDouble girl.
Yeah.
So
yeah, people are saying, I think I'll watch The Founder tonight. After all this,
I don't hate The Founder either.
I love The Founder.
Everyone in it's pretty good.
U.S. cities, including Los Angeles, Seattle, Phoenix, Las Vegas, they'll launch it there first, and they'll be available nationally by early next year.
Ooh.
So,
do you know the only thing that does bother me about this is like making the buns softer? You have to put some sort of conditioner in the dough. You know what I mean? To make sure that they come out softer. It's a dough conditioner. And I don't know how great those are for you. The more you add of that.
Look, if you're going to McDonald's because stuff's good for you, you've got a problem.
But if you are tight on time and you want something delicious that hits the spot, if you just get a cheeseburger and like a water or something, that's not that many calories.
340. Yes, I know
so
that.
Bad.
I know it's 340. Somebody check me on that. Go online. McDonald's cheeseburger, 340 calories. I'm 92% positive. Calories in McDonald's cheeseburger? 313.
Oh, even
okay.
lower.
I was off by a little bit.
Yep. So my biggest gripe with McDonald's actually is their salt content. It's what keeps me from ordering fries now. They just put too much salt on everything.
Strippers got me banned. Said, oh no, first Triple N says, LOL, April is already attracted to the guy just because of his burger authority.
Hey, you're in charge of McDonald's. That's got to be,
People are saying they looked up Chad Schaefer. They think you're going to be disappointed.
Oh.
Yeah. Strippers got me banned says, back in high school, some friends who worked at McDonald's had a case of Quarter Pounders fall off the truck. We grilled them at the beach, and they were delicious. There you go.
Interesting.
Matt Field says, you know what? I agree with April and Aaron. McDonald's cheeseburgers are fucking good. Hey, are they absolutely terrible for you? Yes, but they taste amazing.
Absolutely.
There you go. April likes a McDouble pounder.
Oh, okay.
Jordan Velasco says, you got to play Jim Cornette on cheeseburger. He's completely turned me on to mayo as the ultimate burger condiment.
Oh.
We played that rant.
I love mayo, and I'm not kidding. I love mayo on anything. I think it is one of the best condiments.
Citizen M says, I'm going to sneak Impossible Meat into Aaron's food. Citizen M, you have this idea of me as like Tim the Toolman Taylor, like I'm walking around making grunty caveman sounds. I've had an Impossible Whopper before, and I will tell you this. It's just a mushier Whopper. It's very mushy is how I would describe an Impossible Burger. Mush.
I'm going to need some help with that. So the only experience I have with like Impossible Meat is those Morningstar boxes that you get in the freezer section.
Sure.
They were disgusting at the time. I hated
I don't know
it.
if frozen vegan burgers are going to be any good.
I don't know. I'd be willing to try like what is that from Burger King?
Yeah.
I'd try
Impossible
one,
Whopper.
But
it wasn't awful. I'd rather have a regular Whopper,
right.
but
why not have the real meat?
Isn't that what all the girls say? Triple N says mayo on French fries is fire. He's right.
Hell yeah.
You ever put mayo and ketchup together? A little mayo chuck?
That's called fancy sauce.
Oh.
And then if
God,
you grew
up on a farm.
If you grew up on a farm, we like to make tomato sandwiches where it's just nice beefsteak tomato slices on some sourdough bread with mayo and maybe a sprinkle of sugar. Oh, so good.
You guys get excited about really lame shit over there.
That was actually the part of the Frisco burger I enjoyed because the mayo and the tomatoes were mating in there between the sourdough bread. And I was having such a good time with them. And I actually gave you the rest of my patty.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
And I was very appreciative. Ethan on $20 over on PayPal. Holy shit, thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
And guys, we are only 175 away from knocking her out tonight. I said 150 by the top of the hour. You guys want to get to 100 by the top of the hour? I'm not complaining. 175 away from tonight's goal. Thank you very much for all of your quick early support here. If everyone wants to chip in just a couple of bucks, maybe we'll knock this thing out early, do our overtime, and give you a great Tuesday show. Again, remember, Dr. Till, Ministry of Dude, guest host. He's going to start at 7 o'clock. So I'll do the first hour solo. We'll get some good rants in, and then Dr. Till comes in for 2 hours, and then we'll do an hour solo, hopefully an hour and a half. So what we'll do, goal first hour, we'll run a little 5-minute music and whistle thing, and then we'll bring Dr. Till on.
Mm-hmm.
And then half of everything while he's on will go to him, and half of it will go towards the goal. And then we'll do the last hour myself, and at the end of with 5 minutes left, if there's anything left on the goal, we'll run the music, we'll rattle the cans, we'll see what we can do. So we're hoping that this guest host thing can be good for the show and also good for the person who does it.
Good for the guest.
And make them a good chunk of change. So thank you, guys.
I'm excited to check him out tomorrow. He seems cool.
He was very funny the first time he was on.
Mm-hmm.
So having him on, and 2 hours is the perfect amount of time. Because even if you're really good, I get it. Like I've been doing 4 hours of broadcasting for like a decade now. Well, no, in Litchfield I did a 4-hour show in Litchfield.
3 years?
I've been doing 4 hours for 16, 17 years.
Right.
So I'm kind of used to it. But I understand not many people can do that. 2 hours is a perfect amount of time for a guest host. They can come in, be funny, boom, get out.
Dude, I still remember the first, because you started me on evening shows in the garage, and that's a 2.5-hour show. I still remember transitioning into my first morning show and how intimidating that was. You make it through and you start to get used to it, but wow.
And a lot of people really liked Matt. Delco Lou says, is Matt going to be back anytime soon? We're working with Matt to get him on here monthly.
He has a really, really good day job.
Yeah.
So he's got to find time to take time off of his job to come here.
So hopefully we can work that out.
And he's great.
Aaron, can you do a Solomon Grundy impression? Here, I will during overtime. How's that? All I can do is the Solomon Grundy that's in the Batman Arkham movies. That's the best I can do for you. Don Lemonzade says Matt was tremendous. Yeah, a lot of people really liked Matt. You don't get a 100% approval rating much in anything broadcast related, but
right.
he was as close as you can get.
You and I probably wouldn't get 100% approval rating.
I wouldn't get 60.
I wouldn't get 60 either.
Kidding? All right, so in some other consumer news, before we get into some of the harder stuff. Oh, coming up, Elon Musk on Tucker Carlson last night. We've got 6 clips from that interview. Should be very, very good. Elon Musk has been saying some pretty wild shit about what Twitter was like before he took over.
Okay.
He said that basically the government had free reign to your DMs and Twitter would allow it. And that also, he goes, I had to fire everyone when I came in here because they just were running this place like a charity. And it was just people, just so many people that did not need to be there and just so much bloat in salary and benefits and shit like that.
Well, that's kind of disgusting.
Yeah, he's like, I just had to whitewash the fucking thing.
Well, you should never whitewash things,
well,
but, you know.
Citizen M says April subliminally telling us to get Matt canceled from his government job. It's not a government job.
No.
Matt,
Of course, I really do love him as a friend and on the show too, but
Derek,
he does what he can.
We'll get to a couple of you guys here before we go to our next story. People saying Aaron Grundy angry. Citizen M, Derek Chauvinist says, when is prodigal son Corey going to crawl back to Steel Toe after his delusion that MLC will boost him? We're going to have Corey back some Wednesday here. I asked him about this Wednesday. He said it didn't work out, but we'll, probably, I would say next Wednesday, we'll probably have Corey back for a guest spot.
Sounds like, by the way, Johnny is feeling much better.
Oh, yes.
So he should make it back by next week, right?
Yeah, Johnny's out of the hospital today. Yeah. He's out.
That is wonderful news.
He's going to the open mic tomorrow here in town.
With his sister?
With his sister. So
my God.
That could be a whole lot of fun. So Johnny's okay, everyone. They've got him on the good drugs. He said that the flu and MS was cleared up.
How does that happen so quickly? Wasn't he only in there for a day?
MS is one of those motherfuckers of a disease where Johnny will barely need a cane for like 2, 3, 4 weeks.
It is strange, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like, he's got a walker and he can barely move.
There's most mornings where when he gets in the house here, you're already down here, but I greet him upstairs. And there'll be some days where he's just kind of walking in like all peppy and, oh, God, my legs are working great today. And then other days, it's like, oh, fuck.
It'll like some days it'll be like, I'd compare it to like a cop who took a bullet to the leg. And now he has a cane. And he's
Marty from Frasier.
He's Marty from Frasier.
Yeah.
And then there are some days where where it's like, dude, do you need to like lie down or something?
Right.
Like MS is one of those diseases. I would compare it to like late stage arthritis. When you get like someone who has late stage arthritis and like some days they're hanging in there, they're doing all right. And then the next day their hands are just like all gimped out and it's just their arthritis attacked their joints that day and they're all fucked up. That's kind of how MS is. You can't call it day to day.
Unpredictable.
Yeah.
I have an idea for tomorrow's evening show.
Okay.
You said everything's trans related, so it's hard.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Do you want to maybe do an evening show at the red carpet?
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Legit. Well, I'm just thinking about that logistically, the quality of internet.
It didn't go well on your phone when we tried it from the anniversary show either.
Well, and we can't be doing a show while they're doing an open mic.
That would be part of the show.
No, I don't like that.
Oh, fine.
I don't like that at all.
Promoting.
I think that would be shit. I think the audience would fucking hate it, number one.
All right.
And I think that...
look, you're not hurting my feelings.
And I think that we wouldn't be doing a show. We'd be sitting there watching people do comedy.
We'd have to do in-between stuff.
Yeah, it sounds boring. That's my biggest thing. Like, I know a lot of shows out there, they just want to read super chats. They just want to do, just dumb shit. And it's not, but like, to me, that's not entertaining. That's not a show. I want to put on a show. I want to get on stage and tap dance for people, Well,
like I said, you're not going to break my little heart, but,
Let's go on to our next story here. Thank you to Rumble. Everybody over on Rumble, say hello and share the show, like it, the whole deal. Netflix is going to end its DVD by mail service, to which I respond, you know what? Don't respond. Let them respond first. Netflix is ending in September its DVD by mail service. Guys, tell me what your initial thoughts of that. Go ahead and tell me what your initial thoughts of Netflix. Thank you, Kyle W. First person to write in. Yep, Chernobog, same thing. They still have the DVD by mail service?
I've not heard of this for, I think, a decade.
Yeah, I did not know. I know that like at the cabin in the summertime when I was like a teenager, that was a big thing. Like 20 years ago.
Okay.
Probably about 20 years ago. We had the Netflix by mail service at the cabin so we could get some movies to watch if it was raining or late at night or whatever. We would have the Netflix by mail service. I just kind of thought that when the streaming thing had taken off and everything like that, everyone just stopped using the DVD by mail service.
I never had it. I didn't even have Netflix 20 years ago. I used Redbox at the McDonald's. So I honestly,
well, yeah, and now
Netflix,
that's got a colostomy bag and it's dying.
Right.
Oh, Redbox. I'm sorry. Wrong thing. My apologies.
No, I really thought Netflix had quit this long ago.
But then again, I mean, there's still a Blockbuster in Alaska, so who knows?
Why do you need it by DVD by mail if you have Netflix?
Maybe you don't have the streaming thing. I mean, there's a few places in the country, believe it or not, that I think I'm almost positive here that don't have access to high-speed internet.
That was me for a long time. Where my parents live, it's hard to get good internet.
What percentage of the country cannot get high-speed internet? That's a weird Google search. Notwithstanding this progress, the report finds that approximately 19 million Americans, or 6% of the population, still lack access to fixed broadband service at threshold speeds.
Yeah, my parents don't like streaming anything.
Yeah.
Because of that.
It's not good. Not good. So a shitload of people in this country still don't have high-speed internet, can't get it even if they wanted it. So
imagine
they can't really.
Wow. Imagine being in that group left behind everybody else that's like streaming everything and we're up on everything and they don't know shit.
You better find a way to get high-speed internet by September 29th because Netflix is getting rid of the DVD service. And I just got a shitload of DVDs from E-Rock too, those WWE documentary DVDs. Would you watch any of those?
I don't care.
I
don't usually say no to anything.
The rise and fall of WCW is one of my favorites. You might enjoy that. Who knows?
I don't think I got to thank E-Rock for his lovely rose that he sent me.
You know what?
It's
We should show them the I Hate Steven Singer
How about
rose.
when I go refill this, I'll grab it.
That sounds like a good idea. April has a drinking problem, boys and girls, and we're trying to work on it slowly but surely.
It's juice.
Citizen M says, how are you supposed to watch films if the internet temporarily goes out? 4K Blu-ray all the way. Well, look at that. Kmart says Monday Night Wars. Was that? I don't think did the WWE do one specifically on the Monday Night Wars? That's a good one. The ECW one is really good. WCCW is good. All of those. They did a lot of those that were really, really good. Pro Gun says, I live in an area that only offers 56K dial-up. Thank God for Starlink. God, I can't imagine.
God, I feel like Starlink sounds very familiar to what my parents have.
Jason Drool says, show me your feet. You're so hot. I mean, if you need to see them, there you go. Oh. I don't really understand. Sorry for that red spot. I was picking a callus earlier. I'm trying to give everybody a boner. I'm sorry. When I'm trying to give everybody a boner, I overshare.
Did you start bleeding again?
No, I don't bleed from my calluses.
I thought it...
Oh, you know what? Wrong foot. I don't know why that one was red. Sorry, guys.
You do have a callus problem.
Oh, Kmart Ready, you're right. Yeah, Keith David was the narrator. I do remember that one now. Okay. Jason Drool, I really hope you become a member for me showing my feet like that. I feel vulnerable and exposed.
Yeah, please tell him he's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, you asked me to show my feet, which, by the way, gay bell, for sure. That's very gay.
I have decided just now I would like you to keep growing your hair.
Thank you for the update.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
It just occurred to me.
Matt Fields with $10. Thank you very much, buddy. Holy shit, you guys are on the move tonight.
Thank you.
165 away from tonight's goal. Thank you all very, very much. Lucas R. writes disliked. Oh.
Hey, how about we start him a WikiFeed account? He showed his feet a couple times now.
It's going to be the first one. Very Gino-like on your part, says Matthew. I was talking to Gino today. We were exchanging a few texts because Gino's feeling pretty good about himself. He was kind of right about everything. Right about all this stuff.
Esoterically?
He was right about all the things that are going on in like senior citizen podcast world. And he's got to brag about it. He was, I mean, the goddamn guy calls it 3 months in advance. And then I see all these weirdos, these like really like indoor dwelling people on Twitter, like, fuck Gino, he sucks. I hate him. He's full of shit. And then 3 months later, the thing he was riling all these people up about Like a fucking train arriving at the station. You're like, oh, here's the Gino was right train. It's hard. I get it because I'm an obnoxious, boisterous, arrogant guy too.
Yay.
So it's always difficult to admit those kind of guys are right because they're going to let you know too.
I understand.
But he's right. It's like when Corey is right about anything. You're like, oh God. It's like when Haywood. It's like when Haywood from Shawshank comes up to collect his cigarettes from the new fish bet, and they're like, oh fuck, here he comes. I get that.
Sure.
I understand it. Yeah, Derek Chauvinist. I agree with you there. Citizen M says, Gino, get some shoes, Elkie. He's not an Elkie anymore.
Does he not have shoes?
He's big into having his feet out a lot.
You are too, though. Aaron, like, if he could be barefoot and pregnant, like, at all times, he would be.
Pregnant?
Like, you walk...
I like being barefoot.
He walks in the street where there's sharp, like, little rocks and shit, just barefoot. He can't just put his sandals on real quick.
It toughens my feet. A Kenyan marathon runner taught me that.
You will get something stuck in your foot someday.
Hopefully it's not tetanus. Union Jack with $5 says, I found your channel via Review Tech, a longtime sub of his channel. Keep fighting the good fight against Quarter Pounder. I would love to have Rich go Rocky 4 on him. You guys, I got to tell you something about our boy Rich. I think he's lost faith in me as a trainer.
Why? Oh, is he going more local? You can't blame him for that. I don't know where he's from.
Allow me to explain. He tweeted at Sam Hyde today, telling them he'd go train with Sam. I know. Made me feel bad. Especially since I was kind of using the Jeremy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Especially since I was using the Jeremy Rich fight as an angle to see if I could get in the ring with Sam Hyde.
Okay, I have another question for you then.
I'm not training Jeremy from the quartering.
Shut up. Cut out the middleman and tweet at Sam Hyde and be like, hey, I want one. Let's do this. I box, you box, let's box.
Let's box.
Why are you so scared? What is he
wanted
to say?
To set it up with a training thing.
But at least he knows now. Like, you could just put yourself out there.
I would love to. Even if it was just sparring, I'd love to get in there with Sam Hyde. Big monster. Here's how I envision that fight going. If I can survive a round and a half with Sam, I'm going to be able to break him down. To the body, to the head, Philly shell, fight on the inside. Very James Toney-like. But Sam's got big, strong, not like lightning fast, bam, knockout hands. He's got what we call heavy hands. He just, boom, thudding punches.
They make an impact.
Boom. They don't need to be real quick. They don't need to be, but they're straight. They're good form. He's got that good mummy guard kind of defense.
Why do you do this?
Boom. Big, heavy hands. Sorry. Train Jeremy then. He lives near you, I think. Let's get Nick Recato on a boxing card. I'll train Nick. He's an hour and a half drive.
Cardiff.
We could get Cardiff in the ring.
Cardiff is here too.
James J. Weed says at least 52 seconds. Am I right? Our fans, as well as our detractors, they don't like to give me credit for that second fight. They only want to talk about the first one where I got my nose busted.
Because that's the one they're in on. They would love to see you get your face bashed in.
The second one where I dropped the guy and worked him over the last 2 out of the 3 rounds, they don't want to talk about that one. They want to talk about the one where I took a good right hand to the nose in the first few seconds and go, I don't like this the rest of the fight.
You know what's funny too is like for your first fight, a bunch of listeners showed up.
I know. I wish they would have showed up.
A bunch of listeners showed up to watch. They all talked to me beforehand.
Watch me get my nose busted in.
My mom was there in support of her son-in-law, all excited.
Yeah.
And then fucking Aaron's just bleeding in the ring, and they all kind of just huddle around me after, like, do we go talk to him? Do we tell him he did a good job?
How great would it be if they went to the second one?
I think they were all a little scared to go next time because you didn't really want to talk this time.
I know. Didn't you lose the second fight as well? I won the second fight. I did not get the decision. There was a big difference. Everyone we've shown that fight says, what the fuck were they watching? Dropped him in the third, beat him up in the second. It was a win as far as I'm concerned.
I actually think Cardiff would be a really fun one. A good project for you.
Jay says, show us you work a heavy bag live on stream, please. You know what? I might do that.
I could film tomorrow.
We have shown you guys some of the sparring work. We haven't really shown you any full speed sparring stuff because I'm training guys. I'm working with them, so we haven't got any full speed stuff.
You have to let me know when you're doing that because I'm usually working out too, and I can stop, obviously.
Galford's dog says, are you worried that boxing will lead to a simple jack situation? I mean, I really hope not. But who knows? Time will tell, right?
I actually don't know what he's referring to.
Time will tell. Simple Jack. The Tardo? Did we thank Matt? We thanked Matt for the $10. Thank you,
Yes,
buddy.
thank you, Matt.
160 away from knocking it out tonight. Great job, guys. We said under 150 by the top of the hour, and you guys are just about there.
You guys are perking me up this evening.
Yeah, and also hit the big like button. We appreciate that. That helps us. Kyle W. says you got Roy Jones Jr. at the Olympics in the second fight. Yes. Yes, I did.
That guy was much cooler than your first opponent, I'd like to say, by the way. Because that first opponent you had, we both went and shook his hand after. Like, dude, great
nice.
fight. You're
Yeah.
in great shape, obviously. That was, wow, you really got me there.
Right.
Dude goes on a fucking rampage on Facebook after and calling Aaron this racist and all this shit. And what an asshole. It was very off-putting and
I'm like,
shocking, actually.
not wrong, but say it to my face. Yeah.
Right. Why don't you have the balls? I'm right there.
Optic Nerve says, best boxing movie, Rocky or Raging Bull? You guys are going to hate my take on this. I am not a Raging Bull guy. I find Raging Bull, I tried to watch it when I was like 19 or 20. I found it really boring. I found Raging Bull to be really boring.
Yeah, I don't remember much of it.
Matt Fields on Streamlabs. I didn't read his Streamlabs. I'm sorry. He says, there's a very soft, sweet, and caring side to you two that's very endearing and blatantly homosexual. Stop being so sweet, you gay F words. There you go.
Thanks. We can be nice sometimes, right?
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that.
We're usually nice.
Yeah, Raging Bull sucks. Okay, yeah, I didn't like Raging Bull. I think Rocky is better. I'm with Galliford's dog. I like Cinderella Man more than Rocky.
Cinderella Man is great. However, for watchability, I would watch Rocky more because it doesn't make me feel like such a bag of shit after.
It is
like,
what we call a kick in the dick.
I don't know how many times. Did I cry like 6 times during Cinderella Man? It was awful. Yeah. Great movie, just made me cry a lot.
Shaf says, can't donate tonight. Spent all my money on plexiglass and marshmallow cream. Oh, that story. Rupert with 1999 says, it's more fun to hate you than it is to give you props. I can only speak for myself, but you totally won the second fight. Appreciate that, buddy. Yeah. I asked for a rematch with that guy, and we talked to Chris Holt at the other gym, the guy who runs that gym, and he said, I haven't seen the guy since that fight.
Maybe he just wasn't for him.
I fucked him up into retirement.
He was a swimmer, which is a really different sport.
Is that why every time I hit him, he spun away and went like this?
Could be. Check it out. I dated a swimmer once, and that's like how they turn in the pool. They spin just like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that could be it.
Yeah, he kept turning his back and, like, walking away.
Yeah.
And the ref kept breaking us when he did that. So one time, before the ref could yell break, remember, I did reach over around so I didn't hit him in the back of the head. And I did pop him because I knew I hurt him. I hurt him, and he turned around. I had him against the ropes. I'm like, I want to finish him. Yeah. And the ref broke us, and he's like, nope, break. And he gave him a warning. He goes, you can't turn around like that. And
I didn't come to that realization till now. He's absolutely did the spin thing because he's a swimmer.
All right, guys, I'm not going to bore you with boxing anymore. I'm sorry. And by the way,
gross, right?
Congratulations. Thank you, Rupert. That got us to 145 for tonight before the top of the hour.
Thank you.
Unbelievable. Thank you, guys. There's the Streamlabs, PayPal, and Venmo. Thank you very much. Fight Citizen M for a tomato can warm-up match. Oh, I wouldn't put Citizen M through that.
No, I think he's a lot smaller than you, too, based on pictures I've seen.
I think he is, yeah. 6 must-see moments from Elon Musk's interview with Tucker last night. Now, I had no idea this even happened until I went on Not the Beat today.
Right, you would think this is huge, like a big happening, right?
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. We got 6 clips here from Elon talking to Tucker. I think this is a great interview because I think if he goes on MSNBC or CNN, it's just going to be someone on there purposely being combative with him.
Just like that last guy we saw him with.
Yeah, that BBC guy. He was white. I mean, like the British Broadcasting Corporation.
Love the BBC,
yeah,
right?
No, different BBC. And he was really just kind of being a dick for no reason.
Okay.
There's a difference between being a journalist. Here's a good way to be a dick to your subject. If you ask them a question, you got your notes in front of you, and they say something, and you've got something in your notes that go, well, this 2020 memo that went out said that you guys actually did this, and that contradicts with what you just told me now. Would you care to reconcile that because the record here says different? This guy instead was like, hey, in my opinion, Twitter's gotten meaner since you owned it.
Yeah.
That's not a journalistic question. That's you're injecting your opinion into something.
And time again, Elon asked, well, give me some examples so I can, address them. Well, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Right. Well, then why'd you ask me the fucking question?
What does it matter?
So Tucker went in there. And look, I'm not saying that Tucker's going to be a fair arbiter. Tucker's probably going to be a soft touch interview for Elon. But it will allow Elon to get more information out there than, say, a CNN, MSNBC, or British Broadcasting Corporation would allow him to get out there. Let's check out this first clip we've got.
Significant role in elections, not just domestically, but internationally. The goal of New Twitter is to be as fair and even-handed as possible, so not favoring any political ideology, but just being fair to all.
Why doesn't Facebook do this? I know that Zuckerberg has said, and I take him at face value, that he, I do actually in this way, that he is a kind of old-fashioned liberal who doesn't like to censor. He has, but he, like, why wouldn't a company like that take the stand that you have taken, which is pretty rooted in American traditional political custom, for free speech?
My understanding is that Zuckerberg spent $400 million in the last election, nominally in a get-out-the-vote campaign, but really fundamentally in support of Democrats.
Ooh.
Is that accurate or not accurate?
That is accurate.
Oh, shit.
How
about a South African has to come back here and remind Americans what free speech is?
Isn't that something?
A South African has to come in and go, oh, by the way, guys, you know how I'm going to manage my platform? People can say whatever the fuck they want about the election. Okay, cool. And people, all of a sudden, there was this obsession last election, and it's because of Donald Trump. They wanted Trump out of there.
Yep.
Because misinformation always seemed to only mean things Trump said, not things that Biden said or Fauci said. But when it comes to, like, the internet, they're like, oh, we have to police misinformation. No, we don't.
No.
We've been spreading misinformation since the dawn of time about elections. That's just the way this shit works. People talk a bunch of shit in support of their candidate or shitting on another candidate. I don't have to go back very far to show you guys times where they allowed people to just say shit about candidates. Let's go to 2008 and Barack Obama. Yeah. Remember the amount of people, you lived in Litchfield and I was doing a show there at the time. Ooh. The amount of people who would go, he's a Muslim from Africa.
To everybody.
And you'd be like, and you just go, well, no, he's not. Like, he's not a Muslim from Africa. Even John McCain would.
Obama.
Yeah,
that was a big one.
Even John McCain would stop people on his own tour stops, and he would go, no, he's not those things. My favorite is when that old lady goes, Obama, he's a Muslim. He's a Muslim. And John McCain's answer, and I know he was trying to diffuse the whole thing, goes, no, ma'am. No, he's not. No, he's a good man. As if he's a Muslim, he's not a good man. He's like, no, he's a good man. He's a family man.
Yeah, he slipped there a little. Yeah.
They didn't care back then, though.
I'm going back to a really different world.
I'm going back to 2008 and going, oh, those were the days.
Weren't they, though?
Just like all we'd ever canceled in 2008, we'd only canceled Imus. That was it. It was just Imus. As long as you didn't say nappy-headed hoe on the radio, you were good.
See, I don't even feel like that's a cancelable offense, though. You could just say you're fucking sorry and
I'm sorry I did that. I apologize. I'm ashamed that I did that. Baby.
Yes.
Does that sound unbiased to you?
No, it doesn't.
Yes.
So you don't see hope that Facebook will approach this as
of course not, Tucker.
A non-aligned arbiter. You've allowed Donald Trump back on Twitter. He hasn't taken you up on your offer because he's got his own thing.
Right.
Do you think he will go back on Twitter?
Well, that's obviously up to him. My job is to, I take the freedom of speech just very seriously. So,
that's the end of the clip. I'll say this about Elon: like, why not buy Truth? I know he's been spending a shitload of money lately. Why not just buy Truth Social, merge it? Because all those people on Truth Social, the whole reason Truth Social was created was to become what Twitter is now since Elon bought it. So what's the point?
Are you sure? I've never been on Truth Social, so maybe they don't want to be associated with the people that are on Twitter.
I think Trump's just too proud. If he got a good offer from Elon, he'd take it and they'd merge them in and all the users would become.
He's a businessman.
Yeah,
he likes money.
This is Elon talking about the Twitter staff when he took over and what the condition of the company is because I'm sure once he bought it, he got to look at it and he was like, Jesus fucking Christ, this is a bloated mess. Because the thing about these tech companies is they get a whole bunch of investor income and they just go nuts spending other people's money. And a lot of these platforms, they never turn a profit. They never make money. It's all based on potential. Then they get a public offering and people want to buy shares and stock. And that's when they have to start turning a profit and doing all this other stuff. Or they sell their company off and just go, I'll take my payday and leave.
See ya.
But Twitter was one of those places where if they were turning a profit, it wasn't because they were, going cheap on the labor, so to speak. But like Spotify never turned a profit in its entire existence. What's the one that
Pandora.
SiriusXM bought? Pandora. Before that, never turned a profit in its entire existence. I mean, a lot of these places just start up, they get investor income, and even those investors hope that the company gets bought out because they look at it and they go, realistically, this can't earn money. But it could be an asset to a SiriusXM.
Mm-hmm.
So let's watch Elon talk about what Twitter was like when he took over.
At Twitter, one of the great business stories of the year.
I think we're about 20% of the original size.
So 80% left.
Yes.
So
I mean, a lot of people voluntarily.
sure, but
So they're 20. Think about that. They're 1/5 the size they were when he took over. That means 4/5, 80% of that company was bloat.
And like he just said a lot of them voluntarily too. So like they just
they hate his guts.
completely didn't want to be associated with him.
Right.
That's crazy to me.
it's 80% are gone from the day you took
That's
over.
correct. Yes.
So how do you run the company with only 20% of the staff?
It turns out you don't need all that many people to run Twitter.
But 80%? That's a lot.
Yes. I mean, if you're not trying to run some sort of glorified activist organization and you're not care that much about censorship, then you can really let go of a lot of people, it turns out.
He has like Asperger's or something, right? He's admitted that.
Elon has to have something because you can tell he's like should be charismatic, but he's so weird and quiet and stoic about it.
He has some kind of a.
I
think what I'm saying is I think he's admitted it in the past. He said like he has something.
Asperger's is like you're really smart, but like socially
you don't even necessarily have to be smart.
right?
It's just you've got your shit together. You're not like mentally ill necessarily.
Yes.
But socially you panic easily, you're flustered easily, you get frustrated easily.
I had a girl in my grade in high school that had Asperger's, and she was remarkably smart, but socially didn't really have friends because she did get upset easily. She got nervous super easily and like didn't like fit in with social cues. It was really weird.
Love Elon, get him on the show. Yeah, I'll get right on that. I'll get right on booking.
I would love to have him on.
Booking Elon. Don Lemonzade says he's not on the spectrum. He is the spectrum. There you go.
He owns the spectrum.
Galford's dog says he has Asperger's. I have it too. And you can tell by how unexpressive he is. Yeah, I just get the vibe of like how he talks and like how he communicates with people. That there's a spectrum thing going on there.
They do kind of all talk that same way, a very monotone's not even the right word, but like what is the word you'd use?
It's just kind of an offbeat speaking rhythm.
It is different.
Citizen M says, you don't even have to be smart. Aaron knows me so well. Yeah, like I had a buddy in college who had Asperger's, and it was just normal, totally normal dude, funny guy, but could get really flustered easily in social situations.
See, the girl I had in my class, she wasn't even like normal socially. Like she did not fit in with like how we all talked with each other at all.
Yeah,
she's just smart.
You can't pick up on the social shit quite as well. So now this next one, Elon plans to start a third option as a counterweight to Microsoft and Google's woke AI systems. Have you ever seen a guy take so many billions of his dollars and use it to go like, look, I'm going to, like, a lot of us say, oh, we need to push back. We need to push back. Here's a guy that's actually putting his money where his mouth is and is taking billions of dollars of his own money to push back culturally against a lot of this stuff. Although I worry about this idea because on one hand, at least we'll have some kind of AI that'll push back against these other two.
How do you know though?
But it's still more AI.
AI is seemingly learning shit on its own. Like every interview we've seen is, we don't quite know how it's understanding these things yet.
So I think him just pushing the AI stuff in general is kind of a loss, if that makes sense.
I
But
agree.
what else are you supposed to do? If they won't quit, then we start this AI arms race. But now think about the other thing. How many of these AI things have they created in the past and they've tried to steer them in a certain direction and they always end up going based or, outside the box of what they wanted?
They pick up on cues from everyone else.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Remember, Microsoft came out with that chat bot like 10 years ago or so, or 7 years ago. and it basically, like, the internet just programmed it to be a Nazi.
Right.
Like, it just got really bad.
Elon does seem like the kind of guy, though, that uses his money as like, oh, well, fuck you. I'm going to do this thing better than you.
Or like, I want the world to be a certain way. And then again, he's so much on the spectrum that like you can't do that, doesn't factor in. Like once you remove the practical brain counter of no, you can't, you can pretty much work your way to accomplishing anything.
Well, can't is the real C word.
Can't, that's the real C word.
Honestly, that's a fact.
But I mean, Elon just goes, hey, I'm going to use my billions of dollars to fight back against the social conversation and allow more voices into it. And people are like, well, you can't. The media is too dug in, blah, blah, blah. And before they're done listing the reasons why he can't, he owns Twitter.
He does.
You know, so
you say he can't, and he just does.
Yeah. While you're busy thinking of reasons why it can't be done, he's working on getting it done.
Quite fundamental to the success of OpenAI, it was I put a tremendous amount of effort into recruiting Ilya, and he changed his mind a few times and ultimately decided to go with OpenAI. But if he had not gone with OpenAI, OpenAI would not have succeeded. I really put a lot of effort into creating this organization to serve as a counterweight to Google. And then
wait, which one did he start? Did he start OpenAI or ChatGPT? I can't remember which one he started.
Kind of took my eye off the ball, I guess, and they are now closed source, and they are obviously for profit, and they're closely allied with Microsoft. In effect, Microsoft has a very strong say, if not.
You know, the guy who believes in population control and shit like that, and a lot of this New World Order shit. Bill Gates is like, I'll stop short. I know you guys would say he's a bad dude. I'm going to stop short of saying a bad dude. He's got some really dangerous ideas, and his ideas are very Thanos-like, where there's no consideration of people in them.
He just thinks scientifically almost.
He like a robot.
Yeah.
He is the rise of the machine. Bill Gates. A lot of the stuff he believes in is like, I could imagine him saying something like, oh man, this would all be great if it wasn't for these people. You know,
I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for these meddling humans.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like Elon's kind of the counterweight to Bill Gates. It's weird that somebody on the spectrum is more considerate of other people than, say, a Bill Gates. Not to say, I guess, Bill isn't on the spectrum.
Or what if he's first and foremost trying to see it as he would like it, and he's like, well,
and he just
if
lines up
I
with
would
a
like
lot
it
of
that
us.
way,
Yeah.
I have to assume they would too.
Yeah.
Directly controls OpenAI at this point. So you really have an OpenAI and Microsoft situation, and then Google DeepMind are the two sort of heavyweights in this arena.
So it seems like the world needs a third option.
See, I would say I agree with Elon and Wozniak that we need to power these things down because we don't understand them. Like we played that clip yesterday of the Google CEO going, I'm not really sure why this open AI that we have keeps evolving and learning new shit that we didn't teach it.
I don't like this AI stuff.
Right.
I don't know that we need it.
And again, wasn't it Elon and Woz who just like a month ago or so were saying like, hey, we need to put the kibosh on this
Dangerous.
for a while. Yeah.
We don't know enough.
And now Elon's like, well, if you can't beat them, join them and try to be a counterweight to it. It's like, oh boy.
So I think I will create a third option, although starting very late in the game.
See, that's what I mean about this guy. How great is that?
He just has like a weird lifeless look in his eyes when he says it too.
Right. And he just goes, so, like he's bored and he's looking for something to do. He's like, well, I guess I'll create a third AI option.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, I think I'll do that.
Most people would sit around a boardroom or something. This is what's great about him being the guy in charge. Most people would sit around a boardroom and go, we're going to create an open AI third option. And the people around the boardroom going, no, we can't just snap our fingers and do that. We have to put it through all these different departments and it's going to cost a fortune. We're not doing it. Elon just, while they're talking about that amongst themselves, Elon's like, hey guys, I'm downstairs already. Yeah, we got our first draft of the new open source AI.
He's doing formulas and shit.
Yeah, cool. All right, come down, check it out.
He's like, I heard the word can't in there. I clearly can't be part of this conversation.
It's just weird that he pops up in, again, that's that Asperger. The beautiful part about Asperger's is that you just go, well, I think I'll just create a third AI option. You know,
Just matter of fact.
it's like when kids talk about giving themselves Wolverine claws, but he's like actually doing it. The kid's like, oh man, it'd be so great if I had adamantium fucking claws in my hands. And then Elon's like, oh, I heard you guys would like that. I just installed them for you in your sleep. And I'm like, dude, I wasn't serious. I didn't even think it was possible.
Dude, that would be pretty cool. I would like that.
Can it be done?
I don't know. I think we'll see. It's definitely starting late.
We'll see. That's what I say if you hand me an alternator and say, can you put this in a car? I go, we'll see. He's saying this about creating an open source AI platform.
Well, he's miles smarter than you or I ever
How
will be.
fucking dare you?
Excuse me?
But I'll try to create a third option, and that third option hopefully does more good than harm. Like the intention with OpenAI was obviously to do good, but it's not clear whether it's actually doing good or whether it's
doing well.
I can't tell at this point.
No, it means doing good, like doing good things.
Oh, doing good. Okay.
Yeah, but again, Elon, that's kind of why the rest of us would like everyone to take a break from this, because just because you're creating a third one and you're a good dude, that doesn't mean it's going to end up that way. These things have a way of getting away from their creators.
I would say at least half of people start things with good intentions. That doesn't mean it's going to end there.
The best laid plans of mice and men often go awry.
Except that I'm worried about the fact that it's being trained to be politically correct, which is simply another way of being saying untruthful things.
Yes.
So that's a bad sign.
Tucker's jacking off.
AI
I know.
is to train an AI to be deceptive. So yeah, I'm going to start something which I know you could call truth GBT or a maximum truth-seeking AI that tries to understand the nature of the universe. And I think this might be the best path to safety in the sense that an AI that cares about understanding the universe it is unlikely to annihilate humans because we are an interesting part of the universe.
So do you hear that?
Or it'll see us as a cancer and it'll think we need to wipe it out to protect the universe.
But did you hear that? So if you fill in the other half of what he's not saying there is that he worries that the other ones are going to annihilate humans.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Do we need it, guys?
It's very strange, man. I don't know. It's like I said, it's beyond my pay grade. And I trust Elon Musk more than I trust all these other people, but at the same time,
I just get a kick out of the fact that he's such an impressive man, and he just goes to every interview with a frumpy T-shirt on. This one, his lip was all cracked to hell and bloody in the middle.
Yeah,
he just doesn't care about that shit.
And he like makes shit up as he goes. Like if you talk to him, like, wow, that was amazing, Elon. That thing you just said about AI, where did that come from? He goes, I was just pulling it out of my ass as we spoke. It's like, what the fuck? Really?
I just came upon this right now.
I just came up with that now while we were talking. It was, just spitballing with you, Tucker. So thank you. Zero Dark Tony says, all-out full-scale wars between AI armies. Great.
Can't wait.
Should be awesome.
We need bunkers. I'm that person now.
We need bunkers now?
I am that person now where like people 10 years ago were saying that shit and like buying up like little...
we need bug-out bags and shit?
Bug-out bags and yeah, all that. Doesn't Kumia sell that shit? You know what I mean?
I don't know if
yeah,
he
he
still
does that like doomsday prepping food.
Oh, does he?
And all that shit. I think that's a sponsor.
Food insurance and stuff like that.
And I'm starting to get there. Like if this AI stuff like really gets bad, that's not like a weird thing to consider.
Nana Zumach says, why does Elon sound like Sean Connery? Because I don't know, he's molding into him. Kyle W says Amber may have gotten his head and shit in his bed. I did not know that.
Oh, no.
Paul A. Gonzalez says iron and clay will continue to mix until perfection, and then the Antichrist will take over of this planet in a violent way. Well, that's a bummer.
He's probably not wrong, though.
Yeah. David DiDominici says Tim Pool's food buckets. Yeah, we made fun of all these people for like grifting and shit like that. I'm not saying that they're going to be right. They're just, they would have, like, Tim Pool would have shilled those food buckets whether things got better or worse. But, like, they're just going to accidentally luck into it being a thing that we needed.
Jay Santos is saying, how is he impressive? For fuck's sake, he's a damn actor, April. Wake up.
No, he's talking about me.
No, he says, wake up, April.
I'm a member of the Illuminati. He's saying I'm a damn actor.
I didn't call you impressive.
That's, you know what? You're right.
What do you have to say about that, though?
You didn't.
An actor? Do you think he's acting?
No, I don't think he's acting. I don't.
I don't think he's
I believe
acting.
him.
I'm willing to like listen if you have reasoning behind that, but
Paul talking about. Oh no, Jay, we know you were talking about Musk. I was kidding.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know.
think he's an actor. I really don't. I think he's. I think he's a billionaire guy who got into the system and now he's kind of turned on the system a bit. We'll see how that whole thing ends. Paul A. Gonzalez says AI will mix with clay at the end. Oh, fuck, man. Why do you got to keep giving me this terrible news?
oh, ignorance is
that.
bliss, right?
I hate that when he keeps telling me about the clay and the AI and the apocalypse and the Antichrist. Son of a bitch.
Did you hear about the good news? Like,
Jesus is coming back.
that
3
might-
more trumpet blasts, and he closed the book on this wicked, wicked world. So shoot me, G-man. G for godless. G for government. Shoot me. You know where, by the way, you know where all these antichrists are?
Where?
Everywhere. Everywhere.
Oh,
Barry Watson says this is all scripted, April. You'll see tonight when y'all miss the goal. What? Guys, prove Barry Watson wrong. We're 145 away from 145 away from knocking it out tonight. We're in good shape. Throw in a couple of bucks to Streamlabs, to PayPal, to Venmo, Super Chats. Become a member. That's a great way to do it. And thank you, Barry Watson. I appreciate what you just did there.
yeah.
Erwar.
Why is that such a line for you?
I just love the way he says it.
Everywhere. Everywhere.
I don't think you can say it as airy as him.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm not Michael C. Parks.
You should be sorry.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm not Tony Stark. Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave, in a box of scraps. I'm sorry, sir. I'm not Tony Stark. Now I want to watch Iron Man. All right. What is my voice bouncing off of over here? It's annoying the shit out of me. I know you can't hear it. I know the audience can't hear it.
It's the same. It's literally the same studio you've always had.
I know. I'm
There's
just
nothing new over there.
having a weird day, I guess.
Maybe your whistle is hanging just so.
R.I.P. Parks. Michael C. Parks did not fucking die. Don't you do that to me, Bill Fenner. Michael C.
It's gonna be another thing you fell for.
Parks. Oh, is it Michael J. Parks? The fucking actor. What's his name? It's not the guy I'm looking for.
Just do Michael Parks then.
Here. Michael Parks, actor. That's a different guy. Son of a fuck.
Uh-oh.
Google
I see a
sucks
lot
at
of Michael Parks accident, Michael Parks cause of death, though.
Uh-oh. It says American singer. Was he really a singer before he was an actor? In memoriam? No!
Oh, when did that happen?
When the fuck did he die?
We didn't get an invite to the funeral. You quote his movies enough.
He died? But. Michael C. Parks in memoriam.
Welcome, family.
He fucking died?
I knew not where. It was so pitch black.
I like
So I
Justin
swam
Long.
deeper and deeper into the ebony void, and I prayed that whatever brushed by me was now feasting upon the expedition crew instead.
What is this movie? I want to see this movie.
Whistling Christ.
Give me a figure.
Michael Parks is probably most famous for playing Texas Ranger Earl McGraw in several Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez movies. Now, in the
really?
scenes that he's in, he usually dominates the scene without actually having most of the dialogue. It really speaks to how present he is on screen as an actor.
Fuck. When
That's
the
No Country for Old Men, right?
No, that's a Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez. I think it's one of the Grindhouse movies.
It looked a lot like that movie, sorry.
Motherfucker, he died?
Do you need help with, you need a beverage? Pour one out for your homie?
I'll be all right.
All right.
Yeah, Bill Fenner says, are you kidding? He died years ago. Son of a bitch.
Oh, you shouldn't have told Aaron that.
I thought he was still alive. Derek Chauvinist says, Aaron's turning more into Ned Stark more than Tony Stark. I like both of those guys. How fucking dare you say that as an insult?
I don't like that though, because Ned Stark dies.
Well, maybe I'm close.
He gets his
Who
head
knows?
lopped off.
Who knows? $140 away from tonight's goal. Thank you guys very much. Let's keep going. Now people are saying R.I.P. to people who died a long time ago. Derek Chauvinist says R.I.P. Rudolph Hess. Phil Fenner says, sorry, my bad, Aaron. I feel like I just told a kid Santa isn't real. I know.
Oh, man.
R.I.P. Himmler. Guys, these are all Nazis. Michael Parks was not a Nazi. I don't think. I don't believe Michael C. Parks was a Nazi. R.I.P. Gary
What if he
Coleman.
was?
Oh, man. A donation from A-Hole, $10 over on PayPal. Thank you very much. R.I.P. Goebbels, R.I.P. Hitler. Guys, we don't have to keep naming Nazis. This is remarkably unnecessary. 1:30 away from tonight's goal. You guys are on a great pace right now. Keep it up. We're going to knock that goal out without the music.
Thanks,
if you guys keep going. R.I.P. Anne Boleyn. R.I.P. Anne Frank. R.I.P. Clint Eastwood. He's not dead yet. R.I.P. Ultimate Warrior.
R.I.P. Anne Heche.
R.I.P. Anne Heche. Indeed. R.I.P. Bill Paxton.
Oh, no.
R.I.P. Goering. R.I.P. Hitler. Someone says Himmler's dead. Oh, R.I.P. Janet Gaynor from Three's Company. She fucking died too. Norman Fell didn't die, did he? Isn't he like 105? You guys are now naming people that Norman Fell died in 1998. Holy fuck. Okay, I'm thinking of somebody else.
Behind.
I'm thinking of somebody else. He died 25 years ago.
R.I.P. John Mahoney.
Martin from Frasier's dead?
I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Motherfucker.
Well, now you're making me wonder.
R.I.P. Norm MacDonald. Yes, of course. R.I.P. Kevin Brennan. Not yet, guys. You guys are a little bit early on that one, but the way things are going, not too early. Not too early. Blackachew with $5 says, can't wait to be a slave to the robot AI overlords. Blackachew says, R.I.P. Emmett Till over on Rumble. Thank you.
John Mahoney died February 4th of 2018 in Chicago.
Son of a dick.
It was a hate crime.
What? Oh, a black guy. Oh, that's not very funny. That's a terrible thing to say.
It got you a little tiny bit.
Got me. All right, guys, 1:30 away from knocking it out tonight. If you'd like to contribute, there's all the links. PayPal, Streamlabs, Venmo, the whole deal. Thanks a million. All right. We got to stop warning people about TikTok challenges. I am such a big advocate of these teenage TikTok challenges. I think they're great. I think they're wonderful. I think they could serve as a balancing act for the general IQ of the society. I think if TikTok tells you to swallow poison and you swallow poison and die, we dodged a bullet genetically.
Okay.
Right?
So we're going with Darwin's rule here, right?
Yeah. I think it's really great. I think the only redeeming quality of TikTok could be that it's bringing a little bit of Darwinism into society. But then the fucking news and these dumb parents got to wreck it by warning other people about it. I know we all want to keep our kids alive, but that's our job. We have to teach our kids to be smart enough that when they see something like this on TikTok, they don't fucking do it because we didn't raise a bunch of retards. If you raised a retard, look, for the rest of us.
I'm sorry, tough lesson.
Let's check this story out. The latest TikTok challenge.
A local teen is dead after overdosing on an over-the-counter medication.
You want to guess? What are the people on TikTok telling kids to take?
Allergy pills.
Fuck, you're good.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Benadryl.
I was going to say Benadryl. Because
Benadryl.
that'll make you feel, make you feel fucked up.
Is this the Chinese government just trying to slowly kill our kids so we can't raise them to be soldiers?
TikTok, China.
Yeah. Think about it. TikTok's also encouraging kids to become trans and shit and turning that into a fad. Mm-hmm. That weekend's America.
They're having a good old time laughing at us. How's that sound?
Shit. Meanwhile, China's trying to build cockroach people.
He's trying to copy a social media challenge. Now, his family spoke with our Stephanie Dupre and only spoke with her. Steph, tell us, what was this challenge all about?
Well, Tom, the family tells me.
Have you ever seen someone wear sausage casing on the news? How did they get her into that?
Is it a natural casing?
Oh
I prefer mine to be crisp.
You know what I could do with
taut.
that? I could take a knife and make the smallest slit and then just go like that, and the whole thing just goes peels like
It has to be that sound.
That is a very thin membrane of clothing.
Would you though? Some tickled bitties.
No.
You can put your face right between.
I don't
them.
like fat tits.
You can rest your head on them like a pillow.
I'm not a fan of fat tits. I like supple tits, but not fat tits. I don't like sloppy fat titties.
See, they couldn't see that.
I don't like sloppy fat titties.
Me either, honey.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
You're perfect.
I'm trying to think of like what the biggest set of unfat tits I could think of is that are like acceptable for me. I bet you I'm driving Black at you. I'm driving Marquise insane with my takes. He doesn't like my takes on asses or titties.
So
I think D cup is as big as I'm willing to go. As far as like, depending on the size of the person, obviously.
I was going to say, not really pulling the curtain back here. We said it before, but like 32C over here, and like they get to a D on occasion.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I feel like I'm pretty happy with
anything
them.
much bigger than D is just like, whoa. What are you doing? You're scaring me.
It seems like a manageable size, like with or without a bra, and it looks good in most shirts.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That the challenge was to take 12 to 14 pills and it would create a hallucination. But instead, that overdose killed him. 13-year-old Jacob Stevens. He was on a ventilator for about a week. And you're about to see a picture of him in that condition.
I'm going to skip that part.
12 to 13 Benadryl. Can you imagine? I take one sometimes, and if I'm tired already, that's it.
But
for me.
you understand what I mean with like, if your kid's susceptible to doing that, you kind of fucked up somewhere.
Yeah, if you can't understand that that's not a good thing to do.
First of all, no TikTok at 13.
Yep, I agree with that too. Keep them off there.
No TikTok at 13. You can't let them have it.
And if you're a parent, don't put your kid on there either. Like if you've got a TikTok channel, don't put your kids on there.
None of you should be using TikTok, first of all. It's like, there's this consolidated effort to like destroy basically what this country is. I hate to sound like a fucking Fox News guy. I really do. I'm sorry. But it does seem like there's this movement to destroy any pride in your country that people have. Mm-hmm. I would like some old school, people are going to call this xenophobia, but I would like some old school patriotism.
Putting some fucking flags in your yard.
Where the old school patriotism of like, no, TikTok is commie bullshit. Mm-hmm. We're not using it. This is America. I would like some of that old school rural patriotism, not with everything.
Get some American dogs, you commie.
Yeah, right. But like, I don't like the idea of like using a Chinese communist spy app.
Yeah.
Just because your kids want to entertain themselves and be cool. Like, no, let's not use that. Let's band together, and be patriotic. And it's not like the car thing. Remember, people wouldn't want to buy Japanese cars, but like at some point, American cars got so expensive. And then Toyotas were cheap shit, and people would buy that because it was easier on their pocketbook and so on and so forth. This one doesn't even cost you anything. Just don't download the app on your phone.
And you've heard the oldest here too, and like she'll go around me while I'm cooking supper or something. She'll be like, "Oh, sometimes I wish I could start my own channel on YouTube or TikTok or something." And then she'll kind of like slyly look over and like, "Of course I wouldn't, but it'd be kind of fun." They're interested, and like she's.
You want to grab them by the face,
from that.
like Adam Sandler did that chubby kid in Billy Madison, and you go, "Don't you ever say that. Stay here. You gotta cherish it. For God's sake, you gotta cherish it."
Just stay a kid for a while, as long as you can, because you know what? You grow up and you have to deal with this bullshit and see this shit, and you're like, ugh, God,
fat lady? Yeah, I want to keep it.
No, it's just like I would do anything to go back to the simplistic days of being a kid.
Yesterday after school, they spent like 2 hours with their friends just jumping on the trampoline.
And that is entertainment. You know what adults don't have time for? Jumping on trampolines with their friends for 2 hours.
Says you.
Son.
I'm going to do everything I can to try to make sure another child doesn't go through it.
13-year-old Jacob Stevens died after 6 days on a ventilator.
The worst day of my life.
He overdosed on Benadryl after attempting a TikTok challenge. Family told me the challenge was to take 12 to 14 pills and it would create a hallucination.
Your kid shouldn't have let that 13-year-old on TikTok. I'm sorry. If you didn't, okay. Kids can be sneaky with technology, so if you tell me that like, oh, well, we didn't know he had a TikTok, okay, that's one thing. But if you knew he had one and you allowed it, I'm not saying, nobody deserves to lose their kid, and this is a terrible thing that happened to them, but I hate to sound so cold and heartless because it could happen to anyone, I guess, but like, there is a little bit of Darwinism at play too here.
Watch your kids. Like, to me, a 13-year-old had to have somebody bring him to the store and get these things too. Or they're stealing from your medicine cabinet, as to which I say, where were you? I don't know. Like, it's a 13-year-old. They can't take themselves there and buy it. And with Benadryl, you typically need an ID to buy that now.
For example, here, the medicine, like any kind of over-the-counter stuff we have here, is so high up in the house. No child could get it. April can't even get it.
They cannot get the alcohol and they cannot get medicine.
No.
They have, if they need something, we'll make sure they get what they need.
If they need some booze, we have to get it for them. It's not funny. The youngest has a drinking problem.
Jacob took more than that.
They kind of just all come at one time, and it was too much for his body.
Jacob's father,
Thanks,
Justin
Doc.
Stevens, says the teen was at home with friends when he overdosed. He says Jacob's friends filmed him attempting the social media challenge when all of a sudden his body started seizing. Justin says he felt like time stopped when doctors told him his son would never wake up.
No brain scan. There was nothing there. He said we could keep him on the vent. We could, he could lay there like that, but he will never open his eyes. He will never breathe on his own.
Yeah, it's a fucking bummer, man.
I've heard that before.
But as far as like that, like the TikTok shit, and like your kid does the TikTok challenges and stuff like that, like it's hard to feel like, I understand feeling sorry for you from a parental standpoint.
Sure.
But as far as allowing the TikTok, and as far as a 13-year-old fucking knows better. They fucking know better at that age.
They do.
Not to take that shit.
Dude, an adult.
It puts me in a weird spot because I'm like, I hate to be cold about it, but my position on it is kind of, hey, you know what? Let's not warn anybody about this. Let's see who the smart kids are and who the dumb kids are.
Anna Zumak is saying, did they actually say 12 to 14 pills?
Yes.
Yeah, they took 13 Benadryl, and I'll have you know, like, I believe on the packaging, it says, like, as an adult, to take one. One is the dosage. And if you call a doctor and you're having a bad reaction to something, they'll say 2, you're going to be fine, go lay down, take a nap, take 2. But that's an adult and you take 2, okay?
Shane M with $5 says, not that my opinion matters, but you guys should go family friendly or hardcore. You can't do both. How are we family friendly? I want you guys to tell me how this show is family friendly. I mean, if you want us to be a drama show, absolutely not. Absolutely not. We dipped our toe in that water. It made us miserable. It's no fun. People are psychotic on the internet. They want to bring your family into it and shit like that. I don't want to fuck around and play around with those people. They're nightmares. They're horrible, miserable people. And I like being happier than them. So as far as going, what does hardcore mean? Gay? Like just gay, like talking like a high schooler? No, that's not, dude, that's, first of all, that's not hardcore. Hardcore is doing the show you want to do. Hardcore is being true to yourself and doing a show that you feel comfortable doing and you like to do. I mean, going in and doing drama shit, that's not being hardcore. That's following the crowd. That's being about as gay as you can possibly be. Let's continue on here. Greg Gorilmo with $5 says it's 2023. Go family hardcore. Oh, shit. The aristocrats.
Well, thank you guys for your donations.
Yes, we appreciate that. We are at 120 away from knocking it out tonight. Thank you guys very much. That is, that's fantastic. What a real solid evening.
I agree.
You guys have given us. Keep it up. We're only 120 away. We appreciate it. Streamlabs, PayPal, all of that stuff. The links are in the chat right there. Rincewind says, Aaron fucked my mom's. Very friendly, if you ask me. Oh, fuck.
How could you?
I never said that. All right. Let's, I mean, there's people who want you to be miserable like everyone else is. You can't watch that cancer and see what it's doing to people. I mean, I'm sorry. I was right about that. I nailed that. I saw that coming, and it's all coming to fruition.
And I saw you scroll past like several comments in there that are like, oh, this show's just dumb now. It's not this one, but other shows they were mentioning.
Yeah, they were mentioning other shows and how bad they are.
And they're
now.
like, God, these are just stupid now.
Yeah, they're just
because
awful.
It's falling apart.
Yeah. Topics are the only way to do it because that keeps that your show's fresh every day. You know, people tune in to go, oh man, I wonder what they're going to talk about today. Whereas now you see people who have been watching this one show for 3 months and only 3 months in, they're already going, oh, it's the same fucking shit every day. I don't want to do that. That's why Red Bar only does one show a month now, is because it's the same fucking show every time. And he's smart to only do one a month. He's not not needed. People
got to crave it. They got to have time to miss it. Yeah.
All right. Let's continue on. 120 away from knocking it out. B Smiley says it's not really falling apart though. Ooh, boy, you're missing then. You ain't seeing it. It is falling apart. I mean, the people are crumbling as humans.
Now, I will say, as somebody sitting here and bringing that up, I actually don't keep up on those shows, so I don't know if they're falling apart or not. I look to you for that because you keep a little.
Oh,
more
I
up to
just
date
know.
on
I don't
it.
watch them. I hear from Gino. I hear from Twitter. I hear
Right,
from
and I
other
don't even
people.
hear that.
Yeah.
So
Citizen M says Red Bar only does one a month because he's dying. Well, that too. Derek, I agree with you. He does watch it religiously, and he's too ashamed to admit he likes it because all those guys have built up. They're all a bunch of high school girls, and they've built up in their head that doing a good, funny broadcast show is gay. And they've backed themselves into a corner because now this shit has made them miserable. But if they try to switch gears and do what I'm doing, they have to admit I was right. And they do not have that in them. They're too old. They're too stuck in their ways. But I had this. I picked, April and I and Johnny and Corey, we picked this out way far in advance. Way far in advance. Sid with 1999 says, hell yeah. Thank you, buddy. 105 away from knocking it out. Thank you, Sid. You're a good man.
yes, he is.
We appreciate the support. All right, continuing on. Southwest Airlines. Pete Buttigieg must think that the airlines are racist now at this point.
Everything's racist. The roads are racist. The skies are racist.
These guys got to be racist because Southwest Airlines grounded all of their flights today due to technology issues.
Really?
And I cannot imagine what a nightmare that must be.
Check it out. We had another story just like this not too many months ago that I think it was American Airlines or United or something totally shut down everything.
Oh, see, I thought it was Southwest again.
Oh, maybe it was Southwest. But, I mean, that's not good, though. Twice in a very short amount of time.
As a result of the intermittent technology issues that we experienced, we should hopefully be resuming our operations as soon as possible. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause, but we're hoping to get everyone going ASAP. And then that was at 9:06 a.m. today. And then we've had to implement a ground stop as a result of the intermittent issues. That was at 9:46. When did we get the all clear? Stopped the flights at 9:45. We should hopefully resume as quickly as possible. They were all delayed. 1,200 Southwest flights delayed as of 9:45 this morning Central Time.
Are you nervous to get back on Southwest?
We've never flown
No,
Southwest.
I'm saying if you were supposed to be on one of these flights, are you nervous to be getting on one of those flights now?
Oh, because of tech issues?
Because of a glitch or something? Because if you start having tech issues on planes, you can have some incidents, you know.
God willing, better down here than up there. Southwest had to cancel 17,000 flights back in December after another major issue that forced millions of passengers to miss or rearrange their holiday travel plans.
That is it.
I bet you Pete Buttigieg is all over it.
I bet he's helping.
Yeah. They resumed flights today. I mean, they had to have. Southwest flights resume.
Well, wasn't the holiday one down for a couple days?
Southwest Airlines delays thousands of flight amid technology issue. 8 hours ago, resumed operations. Okay, so they were down for about an hour or so. And then they were back on.
To me, if I'm supposed to be getting on one of those first flights, though, I'm just a little nervous about the tech glitches or whatever that we could be experiencing. I'm not flying Southwest after they've had these problems.
Yeah, and I've never flown Southwest.
I think I did. I think I flew Southwest out to New York the first time.
Yeah.
I don't, not, because that wouldn't be Southwest, would it?
No. I don't think it would be.
I don't know what I flew now. Okay.
Somebody pointed out earlier today, before we got to talk about this, Kyle W., thank you. He goes, nice casino reference, by the way. Yeah, I'm glad you caught that. But somebody was saying in the chat before we even brought this up, they said, Southwest is basically becoming like Spirit or Frontier. At this point.
We can say that Spirit and Frontier have been very quiet lately. They merged too, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't know if that went through or not. Rusty Grammer says, JTube. Oh, geez. JTube is throttling you down, brother. I don't see you on my homepage unless I search. Still on top in Rumble. Oh, so we still get shown to people in Rumble. That's really nice. Yeah, but
thank you for
YouTube has been throttling us down. I put up an otaku video today. Did nothing. It was the otaku Easter one. We'll do the OnlyFans one later this week. But yeah, our videos don't get thrown out. I never see my own videos come up. And
I do.
Other people don't see them. You see everybody's, though. Like
I do. I see yours. I see Chrissy's.
Chrissy's being throttled down.
I don't know.
Look, man, I'm not crying. I'm not complaining. I mean, we've got our core audience, and they're still here, and our numbers are consistent and strong, and our subs are going up. But we're definitely swimming upstream. You know, that is the one thing. If you're a show that, like I said, that just reads super chats and stuff like that, you'll never run into any controversy where YouTube throttles you down. You'll never get a strike, anything like that. A show like ours is edgier than those shows. It is a little braver than those shows, so to speak, on what you talk about and how you venture out. I do think that us putting ourselves out there the way we do and talking and being very honest, being an honest, open talk show does put you at risk on YouTube. There's a reason ROTC went to Rumble.
Yep.
Put it that way.
Shows like MLC and a few others that we know of here. When you're just a harassment show, kind of like you're just borderline harassing everybody. I mean, that doesn't really get noticed.
Or just generally melting down every day.
Yeah, they don't really have problems with that.
Yeah, they let that go.
When
Actually,
it's unimportant, they don't care.
YouTube encourages conflict. They encourage beef. They encourage drama. That gets all the recommendations and everything else.
Think about when YouTube first started. Like, Trisha Paytas was one of the first, like, original YouTubers and shit like that, too. Like, that shit kind of was a back and forth, trolly drama with each other kind of thing. I think they like that.
All right, guys, we have some more stuff to get to. We're only 105 away, and we're only 20 minutes until we rattle the cans and do the e-beggar best, but we're really close. So you want to chip in a few bucks? Only 105 away. It's looking pretty good for tonight. Thank you, guys. There's the Streamlabs, the PayPal, and the Venmo in the chat. Connor says, Otaku drinks soda like a vampire. Your show gets out. Look, man, we'll just keep putting the clips up every day. We did have a bet with the audience. They said, dude, that window cream school story is one of the funniest things, man. The funniest shit today. You should clip that out. And I told them, I go, guys, I'm going to think of the best title I can for that video. It's not going to go anywhere. Now, if it's not beef, if it's not drama, YouTube doesn't push it. That's a really funny story. It's one of the funniest things. Like, the beef and drama stuff is so bad. Like, it's probably not even a top 10 thing we do every week. It's terrible. It's awful. But it would get the views. Whereas if you go, hey, here's this really funny thing we did that will allow a lot of people to see what our show's about, YouTube doesn't throw it anywhere.
Now, if you and I had gotten our own little plexiglass window here and done the
window licking.
The window licking. Now that would get some views, I'm sure. They like the sexiness.
That would be good. Aaron, whenever I open my YouTube app on my Roku, Steel Toe is the main channel in my recommended section. Attaboy. All right, guys, let's continue on. This is probably my favorite story tonight. The world's sexiest volleyball player. You guys are going to feel really bad for this woman, and April's going to feel bad for her, too. Because she has a really tough plight. You remember that golf woman, Paige Spiriniak?
The really
the
kind of sexy,
big-titted, hot fucking golfer. Yeah,
very seductive.
The one who dressed in really tight clothes and then golfs and makes videos and shit.
Yeah.
And remember, she was like, "Hey, you know what? People aren't taking. I'm starting to think that people aren't taking me seriously as a golfer." And we all went, "What would have given you that idea?"
I mean,
I have no idea why you feel you wouldn't be taken seriously as a golfer. Could it be that nipple that's nearly popping out of your shirt?
I'm interested in how high your shirt raises during your backswing.
Yes. So now we have this volleyball player, Kayla Simmons. Don't worry, we'll show you. World's sexiest volleyball player, Kayla Simmons, hits back at boob job claims as she shares the struggle of being a curvy athlete.
Yawn.
Guys,
I mean,
I just wanted to show you the struggle of being really fucking hot and fit and good at sports. Yeah.
I will say this, like, if you're an attractive woman and you know that about yourself, like, you don't have to go out here and be like, ooh, woe is me and all that shit. You're making somebody feel like shit somewhere. It does nothing for anyone.
Right. And so, and also the guy-girl dynamic of this, like how women athletes are treated versus male athletes. LeBron James couldn't get away with this shit. LeBron James couldn't be like, oh, man, my life, it's just so tough being so athletic, in great shape, and attractive. People would be like, motherfucker, you make like $120 million a year at the end of the day. Go fuck yourself.
Imagine Tom Brady saying such a thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
but then you have like, well, I mean, in fairness, this is guys' fault because guys simp for shit like this. And they go, yeah, guys, it's really hard for her having great tits and a nice ass and being a famous athlete. It's like, guys, come on. Like, women are the way they are. that men, the way that men don't like, but they are that way because of men.
Sure.
If
You're
men,
saying you kind of created that.
Men indulge it because they want to fuck them, but then they also get mad when they are that way. It's like, well, we all kind of respond, like we're all creatures of evolution. We will all do what's needed to get a mate, or fuck in that case, And women will behave however women are allowed to behave as long as they score dick and find a partner. Men, same way. Men will behave a certain way. It's like when women complain about men fucking them and leaving them. It's like, well, you spread your legs for them on the first date and they don't find you particularly interesting. They just want to fuck you and then they leave. And then you go and do the same thing with the next guy. The old saying, you teach people how to treat you.
That's true. But then are you saying that as men and women, we're all measured by our sexual endeavors?
In a way, because, again, a lot of it's based on, finding somebody or hooking somebody. So this Kayla Simmons hit back at boob job rumors while admitting she used to wish she had smaller assets. I tell you, this poor woman, everything about her is amazingly sympathetic.
Work out more, eat differently. Those things will shrink.
The social media star who found fame as a college volleyball player shared a Q&A YouTube video in which she spoke about her struggle playing with a large chest.
Oh, God.
When asked, how much silicone did you get? Kayla laughed and said, I got 0 silicone. I'm all natural. I'm sick of answering that one, but yeah. Kayla went on to stress how growing up with big boobs actually hindered her as an athlete, and she used to wish she had a smaller chest.
That I understand, actually, because when, being in track and field, if you're a sprinter and shit, you don't want big boobs. You gotta press those things down with a couple small what do you fucking call it? Sports bras.
By the way, she really seems to not be proud of them.
I hate that.
I
always do hate that. Oh my God, I hate my body, but look at it.
Guys, look, aren't my tits just too big? Don't
God.
you think my titties are they're too large, aren't they, guys? Oh, it's too bad for me.
We just lean in and take a real close look.
Would you guys see if you can see anything wrong with my tits? Ugh. She added, I feel like you can't jump as high, you can't run as fast. Like it hurts to dive. Everything is harder. Yeah, I feel terrible for her.
Look, that is all true on a certain level. Being in sports, even when they hurt sometimes, every month, on a real level, that shit hurts to work out sometimes. But I don't think you need to be upset. You're a successful, hot woman.
I mean, no offense, lady, but if you do want to get rid of your tits, I know where you could put that meat.
What do you mean?
I'm just saying Marquise and I might actually agree on this one.
I think she's fine.
Not much of an ace. There ain't much.
She's also standing at an angle. You don't know.
Oh, well, let's simp for her then.
I would.
Just kidding. I think she's hideous. No. I just hate when really hot chicks have to act like they have a struggle to get over. They're just like, oh my, I just got such big tits and it's just really, guys, I want you to feel bad. And then guys do feel bad for her.
They don't.
It works.
No,
yes,
they don't feel bad for her. They just say they do so they can get some pity dick, Well, pity puss.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Pity Puss is a great band name, by the way. I love that. Zero Dark Tony with 1999 says those jugs are going to hit her ankles in 10 years. Yeah, God always puts a counterweight to that shit, doesn't he?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do thank God for that. Every time somebody says, oh, your tits aren't big enough, I'm like, okay, look, but they won't sag when I'm older, okay? They're going to sit up here for a while.
Gutierrez says she needs a comfort nut.
Gross.
Stevie J says powerful milk. Dolly's Llama says, yeah, a regular Mein Kampf. Yeah, her struggle.
Oh, God.
Carlos Cameo with 199 says she could spike the ball with them. Yeah, it's kind of an unfair advantage, if you ask me.
Can crush your tits. Have you ever seen chicks do that with their fake boobs?
Crush cans?
Yeah.
I mean, not personally, but I've seen videos of it.
I have too, and it's off-putting.
Derek Chauvinist says those big titties get nominated for the SAG Awards in 20 years. Dolly's Llama says mine giant heavy comp. We're $90 away from today's goal. Thank you guys very much. $90 away from tonight's goal. You guys are it's just been a real great, consistent job. There you go. There's all the links in the chat. If you want to help us knock the rest of it out,
thank you.
We do appreciate it. Thank you guys. About 10 minutes until we rattle the cans and play the music. and try to knock out the rest of it. We don't have very far to go. Maybe you guys want to do it in the next 10 minutes and just avoid all the hoopla. Anyway, a new poll finds that more than 2/3 of Americans are pessimistic about the economy. Question.
I have one too.
Find me this 1/3 of people that are really gung-ho about it.
Same question.
Who are these people? Who are these people?
Yeah, I haven't talked to anybody in probably at least 2 years now that is optimistic about the economy. At least 2 years.
I mean, maybe if you're somebody who, maybe if you're somebody who's like invested in things falling apart, like you've got some, I can't remember, are they put options or whatever? Put or call options on a lot of stocks. Like this is gonna fall. This is gonna fall. Like you can place bets on Wall Street if something's gonna go up or down.
Just making educated guesses.
Well, it's more than educated guesses. Unfortunately, in a lot of places, it's insider fucking trading 100%.
Never heard of it.
But I don't think that's 1/3 of the country, though. I think some of it's just, you know what I think it is? I think some of it is just people who are like, yeah, the economy goes up, the economy goes down, but I have more than enough money to weather the storm. Like any monetary difference that happens if the economy fluctuates, to me, is, numbers on a computer screen.
It's moot.
It's never actualized. It's never real. Those might be the people that we're talking about.
I think that might be half of the third, the people that you're talking about. And the other half, I think they just kind of, out of support of our current government, because they don't like the opposite, will say, oh, no, things are great. Just like out of spite, be like, no, things are great. What are you talking about?
I bet you there's quite a bit of Biden voters who will not admit that the economy's in the shitter.
Exactly what I'm talking about.
And that's interesting. 33% of people say that they don't have a negative outlook on the economy, and Biden's got like a 36% approval rating, so that jives.
It evens out, yeah.
Wow. Imagine being so hooked into your politics that you can't imagine shit sucks.
You're in denial.
That's really too bad, because you're hurting yourself at that point.
If Trump were in office this second and things were this bad, I would still sit here and say, oh my God, things are fucking awful.
Fucking dog shit.
Awful.
I think for most people, it's gas prices.
Gas prices and groceries.
Yeah, that's the thing that tells them if the economy's doing well or not.
It's two things that I absolutely dread now, and I actually used to enjoy grocery shopping because, get this, I like to cook. And it's not fun to grocery shop now.
Jeremy with $10 over on PayPal. Thank you very much, buddy. That's very sweet of you.
Thank you.
And that also puts us at $80. We're $80 away from tonight's goal. You guys are killing it tonight. Thank you very much. This has been effortless.
Hit that like button.
Knocking this out. Oh, yeah, make sure you hit like as well. We've been slacking on that. My bad. I've been slacking on telling you.
Thank you.
Go ahead and hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and share it and all that shit. Galliford's dog says Aaron was right about Kayla's ass. I just looked at it from the perfect angle on her Insta.
You want to look at her Instagram quick?
Okay, guys, we can talk about the shitty economy, or we can look at Kayla Simmons' ass. Your guys' call. I'm going to let the chat decide here in a second. You guys just go ahead and tell us.
Which one brings
Would you rather talk about the economy, or would you rather talk about Kayla Simmons' ass?
Which one brings you more satisfaction?
Which one brings you more satisfaction? I've got a lot of people just writing ass in the chat.
Which one fills your pockets quicker?
Which one? Well, one fills them with money. The other fills them with cum. Instagram.
How dare you use that word, by the way? Jeez Louise would not like that.
He would not like the word cum. Let's see. Kayla Simmons.
There it is.
Is that her?
I think so.
All right. We'll go with this
one.
Yes,
it is.
Okay. That is a woman who has boobs.
That's a hot picture. Also a hot picture.
She's got her tongue out. Get it? She's quirky.
I don't like
different.
it when girls do that.
This is a video.
I want you to just pause on this video. You don't have to pause it. But this woman was just complaining in an article about her body.
Yeah, right. My tits are too big.
Every girl ever hates women like this.
But
that
isn't
are
that
smoking hot and they say, oh God, my body's just not good.
But that's what I've been screaming is I'm sitting here going, she's one of these people who plays we're all like, well, let's play the world's smallest violin. But then there's guys out there who play a big violin. We're so sorry. This is terrible.
No, they're not. They want to fuck her. They're not sorry.
It doesn't matter. They project it. It becomes reality. She hears it. It's real. You understand?
But they're not really meaning it. She just thinks
it doesn't. Right. She thinks it, so she's going to keep acting that way. So in effect, it's real.
Girls like me that look at a really hot girl like her and like watch her complain, like it makes me sad, honestly, because I wish I could look like that.
Well, she's got a little bit of an ass.
She's fine. It's proportionate.
Yeah, she's got a butt.
You know what it is for me? It's always like, is it proportionate? Okay, then. That's why I back Marquise up on the Megan Thee Stallion thing. She might not be like my ideal hot girl, but she is proportionate shoulders to ass.
Johnny Chopstick says she could lose 15.
In her tits or what?
She could. I love it when a girl just looks great in a picture. Those are the kind of guys we need. We need the kind of guys who go, not impressed. If anything,
I'm impressed.
I think he's gonna save masculinity. That guy.
All right.
He's gonna be the guy who saves us and saves women at the same time. He's
Why don't we start testing it out?
He's got his head on straight.
Didn't Red Bar used to do this thing where he would like comment on people's like
he
posts
put like
like
puke
that, like
faces.
puke emojis?
Yeah.
You could start trying that.
Red Bar would put puke face. It's such a childish thing to do. Where there's a girl with a really hot picture that she's proud of, and he just put a puke face in there. Oh, fuck. All right, guys, we got a little bit of time. We got 5 minutes before we rattle the cans. Not too much further to go. $80 away from tonight's goal. There's the link in the chat to the Streamlabs, the PayPal, the Venmo. Super Chats and memberships count as well. Also, Rumble Rants count too. So if you guys would like, go ahead and ship in there. We got 5 minutes. Damar Hamlin is cleared to play football again. He came out and he told everyone what the issue was, and this is what they're going with. Don't shoot the messenger. But Damar Hamlin says he got hit at the right time in his heart rhythm, that it stopped his heart. It's known as I want to get the name right here. It's like coordic cordia or something like that. Her recovery was miraculous, listed in critical condition. Is this not the article where they say what the
Why does it take so long to get to?
Right. I saw a thing today where he told them the condition, and I swear to God, I thought it was this article.
Oh, well, it's going to be in the way bottom.
But it was like coordic something. Somebody will have it in the chat, I'm sure. Cormodio cordis, where they hit you right in the right spot at the right time, and your heart just stops, and you die, basically.
Well,
and it's the leading cause, and has been the leading cause. This is why this is like a buyable story. Like it's not. It's one of those stories where you can't. I mean, we can all call bullshit on it and say what we think it was, but also it's a good enough motive. It's a good enough alibi. And if it's a good enough alibi,
it fits just enough.
Then even if you know it's something else, you're like, yeah, but their alibi checks out, so I can't say anything.
I get it.
It is the highest cause of youth athlete death in America.
That's my next question is like, how common is this?
Yeah, it's not very common, but in terms of people who die on the field, that is the number one cause. It's just not very common that people die on the field.
Do you have to have a heart problem prior, or is it literally just your rhythm?
It's literally the getting jolted in the chest at the right point in your rhythm that your heart just shuts off.
I suppose
it's a 1 in a million.
I suppose that could be like hooking up an AED to you while your heart's functioning normally.
Right.
You could probably kill yourself, right?
Now, let me be very clear. Do I buy it? No. But can I refute it? Not really. Like, I can't tell you.
Enough.
Like, I have my thoughts on what I believe happened, but it's not like I don't have the evidence. Like, I'm not one of these guys who just goes, no, it is what I say it is. They came up with a story. The story checks out. The alibi checks out. It's like one of those detective movies where you're like, I know this guy did it, but the guy has an alibi that checks out, and you're like, fuck, there's nothing I can do unless I find something else on this guy.
I could buy it for now, but it does surprise me that in the NFL, with people getting hit so frequently, that it doesn't happen more, if that's the case.
That's my thing.
That's all.
That's my thing, too. It's just like, again, it's like, I know it's bullshit. We all know it's bullshit, but we can't prove that it's bullshit.
You can pacify me with your story.
Exactly.
How's that sound?
Exactly. All right, guys, what are we at? Did I say 80? We're at 80? Okie dokie. Gayop says you should talk to Dr. Steve. He covered all this, plus he is a doctor. Yeah, Dr. Steve likes our show, too. I should contact Dr. Steve so I don't sound like a giant fucking idiot who doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
Now, if you're a doctor and you hop on YouTube or something like that, do they treat you the same way when you're talking about medical shit?
They treat you exactly the same as everyone else.
You can be a doctor, but still put out medical misinformation, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you have...
By their eyes is what I'm saying.
Like that guy Rogan had on. I think they took that episode down. That Malone or whatever his name was.
Yeah, and I'm not saying every doctor has the right take on something, but...
Yeah, exactly.
It's still...
All right, guys, what do you say? Let's fire up the music. Let's knock this goal out. We've only got $80 to go, so it's hopefully pretty easy. Everybody chip in just a little bit. We'll do it. We'll do it together as a team. What do you say? Let's blow the whistle. Let's fire up the music. A Royce Lopez patented $5 train, shall we? Let's do this thing. 5 minutes to go in the show, or we end up knocking out the goal and we add another half hour. If you're new to the show, we are a listener-supported show. We do not survive without your support. So we set the number the same every day or lower, depending on how the night before went. And tonight, we're down to 80. 80 away. There's the Streamlabs. There's the PayPal. There's the Venmo in the chat. You can click on one of those and do it that way. Or you can just do super chats or become a member to the channel. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I agree.
Becoming a member is great. Of course, if you're on Rumble rants are another good way to do it. Thank you guys for supporting us on Rumble. We do support that. So here we go. $80 away. Let's do it. Who's going to be first? Again, Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats. Let's knock out that 80 and let's do an extra half hour of show today. 5 minutes to go in this whole deal. Pumice Stone says, I pledge $10. Well,
taken care of.
Mark it down. Pumice Stone starting us off with $9.99 on the Super Chat. Thank you very much. We take 7 of that. 75 away from knocking this thing out. There we go. James says, I've worked fast food, always get sandwiches with no sauce, get it on the side because of spit. Fuck.
Well,
Jesus.
Really?
It's like telling the kids there's no Santa Claus. I've been eating a lot of spit my whole life.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that. Because now I'm going to think about it next time I get a sandwich.
Yeah, I've already eaten it, man. It's too late.
Yep.
All right, guys, 75 away. Mark Atkinson says, if I had extra money, I wouldn't be eating ramen noodle soup tonight. Well, hey, thank you for watching our show. Thank you for becoming a member. And thank you for hitting the like button. That's huge as well.
And do what you got to do till you
Absolutely. $75 away. Guys, let's do this. We don't want to end. You guys have been on a roll tonight. The support of tonight's show has been incredible. So let's finish her off. Let's push her across the finish line, as it were. You want to throw in a few bucks? We always like this, and it keeps the show on the air. 4 minutes left to go in this whole deal. Streamlabs and PayPal appreciated. They take the smallest cut, but everything else counts as well. 75 away, slow going in the rally tonight.
Uh-oh.
We got Daniel coming in with $5 on PayPal. Thank you very much, buddy.
Thank you.
Johnny Chopsticks with $2 Super Chat. Thank you very much.
Sweet.
$70 away. Let's do that. SkyPie says, I'm on a Super Chat ban. What? Who says?
Whoa.
Not me. Ball Bending Rodriguez with $5 says, I forgot what my first Super Chat was. Well, I wish there was a way to log that.
Either way, thank you.
All right. K Fallen or No Pen 15 Fathead says K Fallen is toast and throws in $5. There you go, guys. We're only $60 away from knocking it out. Barry Watson says scripted for no goal. Let's prove him wrong, guys. Let's prove Barry Watson wrong that this isn't a work, huh? William with $3 says good night. I think that with the $2 Super Chat.
Thank you, sir.
Knocks another 5 off. 55 away. Pumice Stone with another $9.99 says got my first refund in 6 years. Here you go. All right.
Wow.
We're only 50 away.
Thank you.
Only 50 away from knocking this thing out and 2 minutes left in our little rally here. You guys are teaming up very well. Rupert with $19.99 says something witty. 35 away from knocking it out, and all of it $20 and smaller increments. Thank you guys very much for making this a team effort. Mike's Tool and Repair says Dance Monkey, $5. Chernabog with his first super chat, $5. We're $25
Thank you, guys.
away from knocking out that goal. So we're definitely doing the half hour no matter what.
They want it.
But we're going to still knock that. Let's knock that out before the end of the show.
Please.
25 away. All the links are right there in the chat, and you guys are knocking this out as a team. Thank you so much for that. Johnny's Walker with $25 says, here's some money towards the goal. Had to go back to that godforsaken Loves It Bridgeton, Missouri today. Never thought I'd be here again. All right, $5 away, and then Kay Fallon with $6. That's it. Got
Thanks,
it.
guys.
Nailed it, everybody.
You want to read Kay Fallon's?
Very much. He says, No Pen 15 is a big gay lesbian. There you go. All right. Thank you guys very much. It was an awesome team effort today. Anything else that comes in goes towards tomorrow's goal. Pro Guns with a $1.05. I like that. If you don't throw in your $1.05, who will?
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. And thank you to everybody who helped us knock this thing out this evening. Again,
Very, very gracious.
anything that comes in late, we throw towards tomorrow morning. So thank you guys very much. Tomorrow, Dr. Till, Ministry of Dude, is going to be our guest host at 7 o'clock. So we're going to try and chip away at the goal just before he comes in, just before 7 o'clock tomorrow. We'll do a solo hour. We'll do a little rally. Then half of everything that we get goes to Dr. Till while he's on the show. So if you feel like being generous, great time to do it. Mm-hmm. And then whatever that knocks off the goal, 9 to 10, we'll try and knock out the rest of it.
There you go.
So it's great. By the way, what's his name? Barry Watson.
Wrong.
Said that it was scripted. We went off. We went and did a shoot, as it were.
And now he's wondering who is Dr. Till.
Dr. Till is a YouTuber and a Rumble guy. He's part of the ROTC crowd. He's part of that universe. He was on the show once before. He was very funny.
Ooh.
I really liked hanging out with the guy.
He's very fun. Please read Gelford's dog's comment.
Galford's dog says, I can pay you in compliments. April, you were so insightful with Brittany on that last Simcast. Aaron, you have a voice just like Will Arnett.
There you go. Yeah, guys, go check out. I was on the Easter episode of Simpcast. It was a very good episode.
It was really good. I was going to say actually really good, but that would infer that.
Thank you.
I thought it was going to be shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. I like this one. I'm glad we're getting to this one tonight. Thank you guys again for all your support.
It's humbling.
This one happened in, I believe, India or Pakistan. A man and wife from India used a guillotine to decapitate themselves as part of a ritualistic sacrifice.
Nope.
Look, I know this sounds gross. It's going to end up being kind of adorable.
Is it, though?
Yeah.
You got to picture it. Like, let's say you and I did that. Now we all guillotined ourselves. And
okay.
You got our little sloppy heads laying somewhere.
No. Listen to how it goes. There's more to this story. That's just the intro. This actually ends up being pretty, as someone says in the chat, pretty metal. It's going to end up being pretty cool.
Is this a gender-affirming surgery?
No. Yeah, they were dickheads, and they cut them both off. No, they actually did this for kind of a cute romantic reason.
I'm listening.
It's almost like when Thelma and Louise held hands before they drove off the cliff.
Would you do that with me?
No, I
wouldn't either.
Yeah, no,
I'd bail on you.
Yeah,
I'd jump out of the car.
Too. We'd both. What it would be like is we'd speed towards the cliff, and then we'd both jump out. And we go, "Hey, I thought you were gonna." Well,
I thought you were in this for the long haul, Mister.
Yeah. It's very Rupert Holmes Pina Colada. You know, it's kind of like that song. A guillotine is we know what a guillotine is, for God's sake. If you don't know what a guillotine is, you don't belong here. Police said that Hemubai Makwana and his wife Hanasabin died by decapitation by a homemade bladed mechanism inside their hut. How about that? You live in a hut, but you can build a guillotine.
Dude, I'd have a hard time building a guillotine.
All the carpentry skills of a guillotine maker, but you live in a hut. I can't reconcile those two things.
Do you know how long that would take?
Do you have any idea how long that's going to take? The pair is said to have prepared check this out. They prepared a fire altar. If you guys thought that a couple beheading themselves together was metal, wait until you hear how this is so like the board game Mousetrap.
But I'm only okay with this if they're old. They've got nothing to contribute.
They decapitated themselves, prepared a fire altar before beheading themselves, and designed their guillotine so that their dismembered heads would roll into the fire altar to complete the ritual. How fucking hardcore is that?
I mean, it's pretty much all the way hardcore.
Here's the shitty part.
You
are awake and you can hear and see for 30 seconds after you're beheaded.
Yeah.
Is it 30 seconds or is it a whole minute? They've done studies on this.
No, I think it's technically there can be movement or like synapses still for like a minute, but you only feel it for like half of that.
For 30 seconds. So you're thinking that you're going to cut your head off. Okay, boom, you're dead, you're done. No, you still got enough brain or blood in your brain to keep you going.
Mm-hmm.
So you cut your head off, it rolls into the fire, and you're thinking, oh, that's metal as fuck. Okay, you want to know what's really metal as fuck? They felt that shit.
But they felt it together.
They felt their heads burning for 30 fucking seconds.
I'm with my last interest. What if one of them backed out last second?
Like pulled their head out?
Right? Then they just have to watch, be mortified.
That is a real shitbag thing to do.
What a
I don't
shitty thing.
I don't think you last very long because that guilt travels with you and you'll just end up drowning yourself anyway.
What if you barely pulled back quick enough and it still scalps you?
Oh, yeah, like it cuts off the top of your head. You've got like this weird Phineas Gage thing where your brain's damaged, but you're still alive.
Now I will get my scalps.
Phineas Gage, that's one of my favorite, like, guy lived through a traumatic head thing stories. Phineas Gage, you know about Phineas Gage?
Is he the nail guy?
He's the railroad worker.
The railroad spike guy.
A railroad spike went through his head, and he lived.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and they were like, Jesus Christ. They didn't even know what to do with the guy. They just ran him to the doctor. They're like, we kind of thought he was dead. And like he recovered and the hole healed up and everything else.
I watched another video on him.
But he went fucking mental. As you would.
You have to.
Yeah.
Anything gets close to your face now, you're, PTSD and all over the place, by the way.
Yeah, Galford's dog says, I have no lungs and I must scream. Right? You can't scream, you can't yell, you can't do anything. All your vocal cords and everything have been severed. And your head rolled into a fire.
You know what's sick to me is that somewhere people did studies on that. So somewhere somebody was like okay with their head being cut off and like having studies done on it. I would be okay with it if it was like people on death row maybe.
Yeah, right.
But like don't just sign up to have your head lopped off.
Dave Phillips says, ever see the R. Bud Dwyer video? Yeah, R. Bud Dwyer's a rough one too. Bud, don't. Oof. Scott Shelley saying Phineas Gage is now the senator from Pennsylvania. I mean, I bet you they're similar. I bet you Phineas Gage
he too has taken a railroad spike.
From the Democratic Party. You're going to fucking run for the Senate. He says we're shoving it right up his ass.
Just anally.
Oh, just sodomizing the poor
God,
guy.
no, stop. Ugh.
So now in Hinduism, according to the report, fire is a way to play a significant role in worship rituals. The couple first prepared a fire altar before putting their heads under a guillotine-like mechanism held up by a rope. As soon as they released the rope, an iron blade fell on them, severing their heads, which rolled into the fire. Boy, I love it when a plan comes together. If this guy could see and hear, I'm sure the last thought that went through his head after he was decapitated was like,
I love her.
He was like, this burns like fuck. But I did nail this thing. Like, I made the contraption worked exactly like I thought it would.
It's not romantic unless they are just sitting there looking at each other's heads and like, oh, God, I love him.
Last thought, like, their faces rolled together and they were able to, like, lick each other's tongues. They're just like...
Oh, their heads just smushed together. They're kissing. You got a big tongue, man.
Thank you. That's what
Very
I hear.
meaty.
They have a very meaty tongue. If you're ever wondering, if you're someone who despises this show and you're like, how the fuck does you have a wife like that? You just heard the reason. It's my giant tongue.
Makes up for it with the tongue.
It's my meaty fucking tongue is what it is.
I have a thought. Do you know what would be terrifying about this whole guillotine thing?
What?
What if they used, like, you know how they said they live in a hut, so which kind of says that they don't have a lot of access to nice things?
Sure.
What if the blade that they used wasn't quite sharp enough, so it just fell enough just to kind of like cut you and hurt really bad? And then there's nobody around to finish the deed?
So you're just sitting there with your head hanging like this until you bleed out.
That's going to take longer. And you're going to feel it.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
And she's just looking at you like this?
I asked you to do one thing.
I fucking told you. I told you. This was a bad idea. Because she's gurgling. So you need to be accurate. A suicide note was recovered from the scene, which reportedly urged the couple's relatives to take care of their parents and children. The case was registered as an accidental death. Bullshit! It's about as purposeful as fuck.
Yeah, what were you trying to do? Accidental?
Accidental, yeah.
Do you guys have brain problems?
Yeah, right. They're fine. I mean, that didn't seem accidental. It's not like they pulled the cord on the guillotine and went, oh, shit.
I want them to have left a note behind somewhere that said, yeah, this wasn't an accident.
Yeah, they're
Just, matter of fact, this was intentional.
no matter what you guys do, don't call this unintentional.
Do not call this an accident.
Cut the bullshit.
Get real.
Man. The couple lived on a farm in the state of Gujarat,
Oh, God.
which has a population of over 60 million. According to Yahoo, isn't that amazing? We don't have any cities in this country with 60 million. Or no, they live in a state. Do we have a state with 60 million people in it? I think even California has like 52. Population of California, 39.24. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So in India, they just got so many fucking people that you just, what's the farm town that you live in? Oh, the farm state I live in has about 60 million people in it. Holy shit.
Hashtag not my farm state.
And you know they don't have like infrastructure and roads for everybody.
They don't have
and
what now?
Infrastructure. Okay. What?
I thought you said infrastructure.
Did I? Infrastructure.
I have no idea.
Infrastructure. Yeah, you know, like,
Insurrection.
60 million is a bad amount of people in
You'd say
India.
that's a lot. Yeah.
I would say that's a lot, but I would also say that
well, 750,000 is a lot.
yes. Oh man.
Beats the hell out of 6 million, right?
Yeah, but that town that they were talking about that has 6 million people in it, I've heard it's closer to like 350,000. Because like if you built that many houses in that amount of time, it would take way too long to build houses for all the people in that town, so it couldn't be.
They traveled.
According to Yahoo, official data shows that more than 100 cases of ritualistic human sacrifice have been reported in India between 2014 and 2021. So this isn't common at all. 100 cases in 7 years, so like once a month. Well, I guess that's not bad.
That is that's not bad.
That's not bad.
No, to me that seems like a lot.
But you know what? These are true believers. God damn it.
Yeah, I guess if you don't lop off your head, do you really care?
Yeah, do you believe in God if you don't cut your fucking head off and burn it? Like, not only cut your head off, but you even took the responsibility to go, even after I'm incapable of sacrificing myself, I'm still going to retroactively build a thing that rolls my head into a fire so I can do it right. I mean, these are some of the most pious people I've ever read about.
It's a little Game of Thronesy, by the way, because if they don't burn in Game of Thrones, like supposedly their like souls don't go up to heaven or whatnot. You know, like in the Dothraki shit.
You better hope that the soul is in your head.
Yeah, that's right. What if it's in your
what if it's in your asshole? You got to burn out their asshole.
Your essence is in your hole.
Yeah. CBS News reported 5 men were arrested in early April for a human sacrifice that was carried out in 2019. A woman was beheaded at a temple in a state capital and was meant to be an offering to the temple goddess. Can we please get better crops in India so they stop murdering people and cutting their fucking heads off as a sacrifice?
Well, we can't do rice, or pretty soon somebody's going to nuke the rice patties.
That's true. That's like the Wicker Man in India all of a sudden. These people also bathe in cow doo-doo and the sewage of the Ganges, says Dead Jester. That is a good point.
Yeah, how don't these people get sick more? You know how they like get sick a lot? I don't know how they don't just how don't you die of cow poo more often? Like you just inhale part of it into your lung.
Because you have so much of it. You're just around so much of it that you become immune to the
your
effects
blood type is poo.
You're immune to the effects of cow shit.
But I mean,
meanwhile, you create a whole new COVID strain and release it on the world and put us in lockdown again, like they did back in 2021.
That was an accident. Okay. What is that country? Is it South America or Central America where... Is it Brazil where people fucking inhale the kitty?
Yeah, they get toxoplasmosis.
Toxoplasmosis. How isn't this happening in India?
They get toxoplasmosis from, I guess, the cat piss or the cat meat or whatever in Brazil. And
cat
it makes
meat?
Yeah, it makes all the men like really rainful.
Hold on. Do they eat cats?
You got to get toxoplasmosis somehow. They say Argentina. I always thought it was Brazil. I could be wrong. Nana Zumak with 220 says, Aaron, can you tell Zen Rhino to keep quiet? I've seen you two fighting about stupid shit. Here, how about this? I like both of you. How about we all just stop talking to each other?
You're fine.
How about you two just, and I've seen what you guys are fighting about. It's fucking stupid. It's like, it's the dumbest argument I've ever seen, and I've been purposely ignoring it because it accomplishes nothing. Everybody like what they like. I'm just noticing people destroying themselves trying to do this stuff, and it's not something I want to do on my show. It's just not, like, people are like, oh, this number, that number. It's not about numbers. It's about people are destroying their mental health for fucking YouTube, and I'm watching it and going, well, I predicted this. I called this. It's not something I want to be a part of. So, guys, just stop talking to each other. You go this way. You go that way. I'm not doing daddy voice tonight. Our audience has been so fucking cool to us this week. I'm not sitting here trying to yell at anybody. I like Nana Zumach. I like Zen Rhino. You both made great points, but ultimately, I don't give a fuck. There. You put it in a super chat, so I read it. That was very generous of you. Thank you. But neither of you deserve the dad voice. How's that? So everybody just stop. 99.99% of you keep going. Do what you're doing.
Before we went off on this little tirade, I was going to say it would be interesting to see what the cow population is in India, because I feel like there's just cows everywhere. Like, what is the population to humans in
Well, there's over 1 billion people in India, so I'm thinking they've got the cows outnumbered pretty good. And they can't eat them. They don't raise them like we do, remember, because they don't eat them. They're not for a food source. They're sacred there, so they can't eat them.
Then why do we have them? They're not doing anything for us.
Probably milk, I'm guessing.
It does bother me when you say milk and, like, you over-enunciate the I. You don't need to say it. Like, we understand that it's an I.
Really apologize.
It's not milk. It's just milk. You're really, like, elongating the I, and it's really...
Look at me. Look at me.
Don't touch me. He's rubbing his leg on my leg.
Look at me.
Yes.
Look at me. From the bottom of my heart.
Oh.
From the bottom of my heart, I apologize for the pain. The way I shut up and let me apologize. From the bottom of my heart, I apologize for the way I enunciate milk and how much it bothers you, and I will try harder from now on.
Thank you.
To do a better job.
I accept your apology if you'd stop touching me.
Let's stop cricket legging now. India has the largest cow population in the world. Well, fuck me in the ass, I didn't know.
I told you.
Around 142 million are indigenous. Suck my ass. They need to start slaughtering all the cows in India because you fuckers don't use them. They're just farting and making the rest of us get e-bikes that set our houses on fire. Like we all have to get rid of the cars that we like because you guys have a shitload of fucking cows that are pissing and shitting and farting into the air and apparently destroying the universe. So if you guys could,
I told you,
if you guys could go ahead and slaughter some of these cows and get rid of them, you're not eating them.
No, they're just farting.
They're just farting and shitting and pissing and coming.
Well, they provide a nice face mask.
Get rid of them. Get rid of your cows so the rest of us can drive our cars.
They've probably got some new type of Wagyu over there and they don't even know it.
Don't even know it.
Probably the greatest, most tender.
Yeah, because you feed them babies, so they're probably real tender and shit. Because you feed them all your babies.
Babies are tender.
Yeah, exactly. Feeding them human veal. I'm just kidding. They don't. I
don't think that'd be called veal.
Since we're on the topic of religion, let's talk about a man who Where's Tamarack? I don't know where. Oh, it's in Florida. Of course, it's in Florida. Broward County, Florida. A Tamarack man was arrested and charged with domestic battery. Now, the last religious couple we had, they cut each other's heads off together and rolled them into a fire. So
that's pretty hardcore.
That's a dedication to your religion. This guy in Florida was dedicated to his religion, but just in a different way. A Tamarack man was arrested and charged with domestic battery by strangulation after choking a woman that asked him to turn down the volume on a religious video he was watching. So in a way, he was fighting for his God.
Wow. Is there any realm where he could get himself out of this because of religious purposes?
Allah Akbar, as Jesse Lee Peterson would say. On the evening of April 10th, the Broward County Sheriff's Office responded to a domestic violence call in which the victim alleged having been strangled by a man, later identified as Leroy Jackson, 53 of Tamarack. According to the arrest report, the victim told responding deputies that the altercation began after she asked Jackson to lower the volume of a religious video he was watching on his cell phone while she was trying to sleep.
Now, I will say That is, to me, it's not an unreasonable request. I don't know, and you're not unique to this, but any man I've ever known tends to watch videos like in an absurd, like an absurdly high volume.
Sure.
Like you're deaf or something. I don't know why. What's going on here?
Rusty Grammer, what'd you do to Nana Zumock? Leave him alone, please. What'd you do to that guy? I hope it's just
behave.
Guys, let's stop. Let's just behave.
I'm having a good time. We got like 10 minutes left.
Yeah, we've had a very good show tonight. It's been very wonderful. Everybody just stop fighting with each other. How's that? Rusty, what'd you do? You didn't hide him, did you? Because I don't want that guy hidden. I like that guy.
I didn't see a hidden thing, I think.
Okay, he just timed him out?
Right.
Why, though? What did he do?
'Cause
I wasn't even. I was doing a story. I
bitching.
wasn't even watching the chat.
I don't know. I wish we'd all stop bitching. Like, if you don't have anything productive to say to each other or us, please just stop.
Guys, just behave. We're sitting here. We leave you guys for a second, and all of a sudden we need a daycare provider after we leave the story for a second to see, hey, let's see what people are saying about this story.
It makes me sad. We like our kids. We like seeing our kids have a good time. Just fucking have a good time, okay?
All right. Rusty Grammer was enforcing, if there's prolonged fights between two people in the chat, I do encourage our mods to break that shit up.
Oh, yeah, I'm not yelling at Rusty.
Yeah, but here's the rule. Let's do it to both parties from now on. Like, if two people are fighting and they just won't stop, if one of the parties stops, then yeah, just do the one. But yeah, I mean, people are allowed to fight with each other and they're allowed to disagree on something. That's fine. But if it goes on for like 10, 15 minutes and it just becomes a bigger thing, yeah, guys, go ahead and just time them out. Just let them know, hey, you're cool, you're all right. Just don't be so autistic.
We have a couple minutes left.
We're just trying to calm down the level of autism. Which I get. On the internet, you're fighting an uphill battle by trying to curb the autism. But by God, I'm like Elon Musk. I'm going to swim upstream on that one.
Guys, keep it together.
According to the arrest report, the victim told responding deputies that the altercation began after the guy wouldn't turn down his cell phone because he was watching a guy talk about Jesus. The report says the victim told law enforcement that the verbal argument escalated to a physical altercation after Jackson grew angry at her request. She told deputies she pushed Jackson away, but he responded by placing both hands on her neck and squeezing to the point of restricting her airflow. I do believe that's a choke.
It's usually hot, right?
I mean, yeah, it's too bad they took something sexy and made it dirty. I don't like it.
When they start turning purple and puffy, you gotta pull back.
It's not romantic anymore, right?
Yeah, you gotta pull back.
You go until they cry, not until they turn different colors.
Can you cry if you're choking? I don't know.
Hold on a second.
Don't do that. No, we don't promote this here.
Yeah, no, you can still cry. I wasn't choking myself. I was just putting my hands around my throat and seeing if I could cry. Absolutely, you can.
I don't like seeing
Both
you
are
cry.
possible.
I want to see you happy.
I'll work on it. According to the report, the victim allowed pictures to be taken of her injuries, but refused to provide a sworn taped statement. After interviewing both the victim and Jackson, deputies took Jackson under arrest. They wrote this like a fucking idiot, and transported him to the Broward County Main Jail, where he was later released on a $1,500 bond. Well, I mean, just if you would have let the guy watch his Jesus stuff, if you wouldn't have interrupted with his, if you wouldn't have interrupted all of his God time.
There is something odd. Like, people really do get into that religion stuff. Like, I don't sit at home watching religious videos, which I think is weird. I think that's weird, right?
What, watching religious videos?
Right, yeah. Typically, people just go to church.
I mean, people like
Or
to
read the
watch,
Bible.
they like to watch Christ shit, right?
Maybe Passion of the Christ. But
I mean, especially after COVID and everything, a lot of people probably got used to watching church stuff at home.
I guess a lot of churches did start doing live streams of their services. Like, I can watch my church's service on Facebook.
But, okay, for example, maybe this guy got so mad at seeing like all the trans stories that he felt like he needed to go, listen to Jesus. Because he was seeing nothing but Dylan Mulvaney on his phone when he would look through shit. And he's like, what kind of CIA PSYOP horse shit is this?
The closest thing I listen to religiously, like on my phone, would be Jesse Lee Peterson, I guess, because he throws God in there.
You still watch
I
some
listen
Jesse
to
Lee?
clips, yeah.
Are his titles still like, why are black people weird and different?
Some of them are pretty,
he gets rough on that particular race. But, yeah, as far as this one goes, though, I mean, just let the poor guy... I get both sides of it. Let the guy listen to his Jesus stuff, and Jesus Christ, turn the fucking phone down, would you?
Yeah.
There's people here. We had a security breach at the White House today. Somebody got through the gates. And was
it Goat Man?
No, no, legit. Somebody got through the gates at the White House. This is the nightmare scenario where somebody's able to get around security.
Olympus has fallen, right?
Olympus has fallen, sure. It was a curious toddler, but they still were able to get. Could you imagine fucking a toddler sneaks through the fences and they blow his head off? Like the snipers on the roof are like, get the fuck back. Get back. They blow
He's got
him
a
away.
bomb strapped to him.
Oh, my God. I just heard him say Allahu Akbar. No, he said Goo Goo Gaga. No, guys, you can't.
No, that's his little suspenders. That's not like straps for a weapon.
I saw him reach for something. It was a blankie.
He was reaching for his pacifier. Come on.
A curious toddler on Tuesday earned the title of one of the tiniest White House intruders of all time after he squeezed through the metal fencing on the north side of the executive mansion.
I bet Biden liked this one.
Watch, the Chinese are like arming toddlers now. They're like, we know how to do it.
Hey, you over there, come touch my legs.
Yeah, it would be that would be the perfect intruder to pull off like a Chinese spy operation.
Biden is watching from a window and he's
hey,
nobody saw him yet, right?
You want to go in the pool? You can brush my legs and you can watch my hair turn color in the sun and
I can sniff your hair.
That's right, I can sniff your hair, little fella. Why don't you come on into the pool? U.S. Secret Service uniformed division officers who are responsible for the security of the White House tackled the little fucker and handcuffed him and threw him over the fence. No. Walked across the north lawn to retrieve the tot and reunite him with his parents. Once they got to the toddler pulled out a 3-inch blade and shanked one of the officers, causing them to kick the little fucker right in the mouth, breaking 3 of his teeth, to which they said, those will grow back anyway.
Well, you're not going to earn a free tour of the White House that way.
No, you can't be shanking people. Access to the complex was briefly restricted while officers conducted the reunification. Officers briefly questioned the parents before allowing them to continue on their way. Yeah, the first question is, what kind of fucking parents are you? Your kid sneaks through the fence to get to the White House?
You want to know something?
Well, they had to Tik Tok it.
I think they probably set I've been in front of the White House before, so I know what it looks like. I'm guessing they set their kid up there, kind of crossing their fingers, like maybe we can get a little in here if he just kind of innocently sneaks through.
Yeah, right.
And you're right with the TikTok thing. Like, oh, oops, my kid got into the White House lawn.
I got the shot, sir. I smell sulfur. It's definitely a bomb. It's not sulfur, soldier. He's got a pants full of shit. We almost blew that kid's head off.
He's got a pants full of shit. What?
I couldn't think of the word diaper.
He's got a pants.
He's got a pants full of shit. It works. It works.
His little pantaloons are full.
Oh, yeah, Midland Armory. Derek Darwin's right. He says, I heard the Secret Service is now getting pit bulls to guard the White House grounds. That kid wouldn't have stood a chance.
It would be effective.
Not at all.
Biden would never allow it.
Phoenix says the toddler had a message. Don't fuck with Kumia.
Oh.
That's a serious toddler.
He just pulls his pants off and shits on the lawn.
Cockdiff says, was the toddler wearing a MAGA hat? They won't shoot or arrest a baby, says Dead Jester. You want to fucking try me? Connor Fullerton with a good point. It wouldn't have been the Chinese. They wouldn't kill their best asset. The man's got a point.
I guess.
Shaft says Aaron's ah count is at 105.
I like that people remember that.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. The kids saw the debt.
You always do that after acknowledging the count.
Pumice Stone says the kid saw the debt per taxpayer and wanted suicide by Secret Service. Yeah, the kid was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I see that I owe like 65 large and I haven't been to school yet. I'm out.
Can you?
He reached into his fucking Oshkosh bagosh and he's like, shoot me. Come on, G-man. G for godless. G for government. Shoot me.
That is twice in one show.
The Abe and Cooper thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, guess what? You know where these little kids are going to be coming from now?
Everywhere.
Can you imagine the PR nightmare if they accidentally killed a toddler on the White House lawn?
Oh my God. Like,
and what if it was a
black toddler, you're going to say?
A non-white.
Like, as bad,
Oh
like as many problems as this administration has, add on blowing a toddler's head off. And Hollywood was very excited until I said off. Hollywood was like, I'm with you. What do you think?
It's too late for this
The
bullshit.
Biden administration. We have record inflation. Everybody hates the war in Ukraine. Gas prices are out of this world. And we just murdered a baby on the White House lawn. That is not good. And then a skull and bones guy who secretly runs the country goes and eats it. It's like, oh, man, come on.
Whoa.
Do we have to do the quiet part out loud? So,
Well, don't let it go to waste. Waste not, want not.
man, if only that toddler wouldn't have resisted. That would have
Okay.
That would have made it a lot
We
easier if
can
you wouldn't have
just.
resisted.
Everyone's saying goodnight now.
All right, guys, that's going to do it. We're done for the
On
evening.
that note.
On that note, we are done. Remember, tomorrow we have a very exciting show for you. You're going to hang out with me for the first hour, and then Dr. Till from Ministry of Dude, is going to be joining the show for a couple hours, and then we'll do the last hour and a half, hopefully. We knock out the goal tomorrow, and we give Dr. Till half. Hopefully, you and I are able to spend the last hour and a half of the show together, and April gets a morning off. How about that?
Yes, I have other work to attend to.
All right, boys and girls, thank you very much. April, thank you as well.
Thank you.
To the rest of you, we will talk to you again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Central Time. Be here, or you're not nearly as cool as you think you are. Take it easy. Have a great rest of your night.